Hey everybody, this is Fran Fraschilla, draft expert and basketball junkie. To everybody who's watching, let's get our friends at General Manager Games the subscribers they deserve. Just press that red subscriber button and immerse yourself in sports AI through GM Games content. And on Twitter, it's GM_games. Let's get after it. Let's go.
All right, Tariq Esparza.
All right, we're going to get started here in just a second once I get everything up and running. Make sure my audio is working. It appears to be. Let's turn the camera on. Camera's on. And we will go here, and I'll go here, and I will do this. And I think we're good to go. So give it a minute for potentially people to come into the stream. I hope people come into the stream tonight. I'm excited about tonight's stream. It's been a couple of weeks. And we're going to get going while we're in going into extra innings in Boston between Tampa and the Red Sox. So game 3 of the ALDS. My phone's already buzzing. Already buzzing. Let me shut that off. I'll shut it off as best I can. All right, and it looks like I'm okay frames-wise. Yeah, looks like I'm okay. I don't think I'm dropping a couple of frames. That's unusual for me. It's unusual for me. At any rate, we are going to get started. So it is we're in our 14th season with the Colorado Rockies. I'll just take a quick look back at the history here. We took over, obviously, in 2021. First couple years were pretty poor, but then 83 and 79 in 2023. 99, and we really haven't looked back since 2024. We took a step back in 2025, but really since 2024, we haven't won fewer than 91 games. We've won 3 World Series. We've won 9 division titles, or we've made the playoffs 9 times. We finished first 4 times. And we are midway through the 2024 season. You can see we're 70 and 36, so well on our way to another division crown and another playoff berth. 14 games up on the Padres, 15 up on the D-backs, 28 up on the Giants. And the Dodgers, this is crazy. I've played a lot of OOTP 22, and I've never seen the Dodgers be as bad as they have been for as long as they have been at this point. They started out, you can look here, started in 2021. They won 6 out of 8 World Series. 6 out of the first 8 World Series that we had, but they have been absolutely atrocious the last couple of years. Team history. Yeah, you can see they last made the playoffs in 2028. They were 94 and 68, and they have had 6 straight losing seasons. So you never see that with the Los Angeles Dodgers, but we're seeing it here in this playthrough. So it's fine with me. It is fine with me, and I guess we're just gonna. Oh yeah, you hate to, right, Kodiak, you hate to see it. It's been, and what's funny is, I think it was last year. I don't remember if it was last year or the year. Yeah, I mean, look at their available finances. I think it was last year. They had going into last season, they had $155 million or something like that to spend, and they're still just awful. So, I'm certainly not going to complain about it, considering they won 6 of the first 8. They can have a few years where they're terrible. For us, again, we're well on our way to another division crown. We got a couple months left to go. What did we do? It's been a week, really, since I've played. So what did we do? What were the trades we made right at the end of the trade deadline? So let's see. I guess I should do it this way. Look at our trade. Look at our transactions. So on the 11th, we traded Drew Waters, a 35-year-old. He was in our minors. Traded Drew Waters to the Oklahoma City Argonauts, who when did they come into the league? And I'm all over the place right now, but they came into the league, I don't know, 10 or 11 years ago. And we picked up Mason Miller. They retain the entirety of the contract. He moves into our starting rotation because we are down two of our starters. Sixto Sanchez out for the year, Kumar Rocker out for the year. So we needed a new starting pitcher, so we plugged in Mason Miller. Kodiak, how you doing tonight, man? How is your weekend going? Are you watching the Sox and the Rays here while you're hanging out with me? I got them up right here in front of me, obviously. As you can tell, I'm a Sox fan, so got the game on with no volume, and it's hard to pay attention to that and this at the same time. But I'll do my best. In your sim, they won in 22 and 24, but they haven't been back to the World Series since now in 2034. Yeah, I like it. Obviously I want the team I'm playing to make it every year, but it's nice to have some variety. It's absolutely nice to have some variety. And I think the American League has had some. Yeah, so Indians, White Sox, Astros, Mariners, Tigers. So six straight years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight years. A different team from the American League made it before Seattle made it again. Angels have made it 3 times in the last 7 or 8 years. But, the National League has just dominated. The American League has won 2 World Series in the last 15 years. So it's been the Dodgers and the Rockies for the most part, and then the Padres won it last year. So, it's been a league dominated by the National League West, and this year looks to be no different. So we are going to start our sim, and we got, I think this is the completion of, we started the series against the Mets back, I guess Wednesday when I last streamed, or when I last recorded a video. So for those of you, if you're new to the stream, if this is your first time here, I post 2 videos a week through GM Games, through the General Manager Games page. I stream Sunday nights, most Sunday nights, from 7 until whenever I get done with it. And then I record another video on Wednesday. So twice a week, there is generally a video posted, like this video. When I'm done here, I'll send it over to the GM Games guys, and they will post that video either Sunday night or Monday morning. So, and then I have my own YouTube channel as well. Let me find it here. Put it in here. Yep. So that is my YouTube channel. I have my own out of the park stuff there as well. So you just finished with the afternoon games and you're switching gears to Bills and Chiefs. Your baseball watching is done. Oh, who are you a fan of? Who are you a fan of that your baseball watching is done for the year? Because that's the way I'm going to be as soon as the Sox are out. It'll be football. Actually, it'll probably be hockey. I'll just switch to hockey because hockey's my second love. But let's get started. We have been going for about 10 minutes and we haven't simmed a game yet. So let's sim ahead and see how game 1 goes. What did I just do? I didn't want to go there. I wanted to go here. Oh, you're a Yankee fan. Oh, man. Well, you're still more than welcome into the stream here. I welcome all sorts. Yankees fans, Mets fans. I don't know that I would allow Rays fans in here tonight, but generally speaking, I'm an equal opportunity streamer. So Miller pitches really well. 7 1/3 shutout. Munez gets the save. A couple of hits from Hinojosa. So we'll just keep going along here. And there's not going to be a whole lot, I think, that we need to do here between now and the end of the season, unless we suffer an injury. We're in pretty good shape. Norman's 12-2 now. Unless we suffer more injuries. I mean, our lineup is pretty much set. Our pitching staff is pretty... Oh, you live in Tampa. Oh, man. Is that how you became a Yankee fan, with their minor league system down there prior to the Rays existing and stuff? Is that how... Because I as I understand it, there are a lot of Yankee fans in the Tampa area just that live there, that have always lived there. Oh, hell. Did Whitlock just give up a home run? No. Okay, it was off the end of the bat. That scared me. Big swing. It looked an awful lot like that Stanton single off the wall in whatever game that was. Or I guess it was the only game, as it was a one-game playoff series. We had 3. Ooh, that's a tough one. 13-5 loss against Washington. 4-3 loss. So 3-2 out of the gate here in August. And I don't know that I'm going to spend a ton of time on the day-to-day stuff. Again, I may just kind of sim through some of these games and get to the postseason, because that's the most interesting stuff. So Israel Real, who's our top prospect, went 5 1/3 innings. We get a day off on a Sunday day off, followed by a 3-game set at St. Louis. And for those of you lurking and listening, thank you. I enjoy you. I appreciate you guys hanging out. I'm very, I don't know what the right word is. I'm not an experienced streamer. I talk for a living, so I don't have any problems, sitting in front of a camera and talking. But, this whole world is relatively new to me. I've been doing this for GM Games now for about 6 months. So if I stumble over my words or I sound like a doofus, that's why. So you're 46, you became a Yankee fan from your dad, and you've been a fan since the late 70s. Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm a Sox fan. I mean, my dad was a Red Sox fan, so I'm a Red Sox fan. I also grew up in Boston, so that explains it too. I'm in Chicago now, but grew up in Boston, so I wasn't going to ever be anything other than a Red Sox fan. Stolen base, did he get him? He got him. Nice. Excellent. So we're going to the bottom of the 10th. Bottom of the 10th. Big game. All right. Game 2 against St. Louis. Another win. Jones has 3 RBIs, and this is going to be interesting. I wonder, I'm still really curious what Drew Jones is going to do at the end of this season. He's got an opt-out, and then 2 player options. He's been hurt the last 2 years. He's lost a lot of his power, a lot of his hitting chops, but he had 4 just outstanding years for us. So, I wonder if he thinks he can get back to this and he opts out and it saves us $20 million. I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. So we sweep the Cardinals. So we've won 6 out of 8 here? No, that's not right. 5 out of 7? Yeah, 5 out of 7. So Hinojosa, 3 hits. He's been just a godsend. We picked him up last season. He was an international free agent. We picked him up at the end of the 2032 season, and he's been absolutely terrific for us. Moving into the leadoff spot. Yeah, just been great. So I guess it has been 6 out of 8. So we won 2, then lost 2, then won 4 in a row. So yeah, 6 out of 8. Now we get 3 games. You found this sim via YouTube, and you found... Oh, okay, great. I appreciate that. Yeah, I started doing it... When did I start? I think my first video was in 2019 sometime, and then I paused, and I didn't record a lot for a while, and then... When franchise, I'm a huge hockey fan. So when Franchise Hockey Manager 7 came out, I posted a video within the first day or 2 that the game came out, and for some reason that video is done just crazy good for me. It's got over 5,000 views, and for me, where at the time I only had 30 subscribers, that sort of helped my channel a bunch, and then when I joined GM Games, it was fantastic. They've been really great. Really just pick a team, do what you want to do, and if you want to stream and there's no one else streaming, go for it. So it's been a lot of fun. I mean, if you've watched my videos, you see how kind of choppy they can be, and that's because I do it while I'm working. This is also my workstation. I've got my gaming PC here and then my work PC here to my left. And I basically just play video games while I'm working all day. And, so I may have to chop up a, 45-minute video into like 7 different parts because each one is like 6 minutes before I get interrupted. But that's how I do it. And it's fun. And it gives me something to do. And, yeah, I just do it to I used to, for the longest time, both on the Out of the Park forums and before Out of the Park, years and years and years ago, I used to play Baseball Mogul. We're talking 15, 16 years ago. And I would, instead of doing live stuff like this, I would type up my recaps and I would post them to the forums and stuff. So I've always liked just talking about sports video games and that sort of thing, and that's really just what I get the opportunity to do here. So it's been a lot of fun. If it wasn't fun, I wouldn't do it. So I appreciate the words there. So so we're gonna just keep moving on here and just try to get through the end of this regular season without any significant injuries and get to the postseason. So another win. And yeah, I like looking at all the victories. It's just I like looking to see who did what and that sort of thing. So Denny, the ERA is dropping. Jim Denny is now the team's all-time winningest pitcher. I believe that's accurate, right? I think so. Yep, 113 victories. The team's all-time winningest, winningest pitcher. So, yeah. All right, let's keep going. Yeah, and there's not going to be a lot of, we're through July, so we don't need to do the draft. We don't need to do international amateurs. We're not going to do, trade deadlines. So there's not a whole lot for me to do other than just sim the games right now. We'll get through the next couple months. What I like to do, and again, for those of you, this is, I guess, for those of you who haven't seen this before, when I get to the postseason, what I like to do is play until you get to an elimination game, and then just let the game sim. That'll watch the game and let them sim it and see how it goes. So I'm gonna have 2 players with 40 home runs, and it's not even September yet, so that's a thing. Another game against the Cubs, and we lose. And final game of the series is a 14-9 victory. So Aguilar's just having great. Manny Aguilar was a Rule 5 pick back in 2031. You see, he played a little bit in 2032 and was pretty bad. He started the season in AAA. We called him up. He started hitting the ball really well, and then obviously this year he's been just a monster. So very effective Rule 5 pickup for us. Is that a home run for Drew Jones? Yep, Jones with a 3-run homer. Aguilar homers twice. Butler homers. Norman gets hit hard. Satterfield gets hit hard, but otherwise things look pretty good. Game 1 at Milwaukee is, I gotta click the button. We get to the end of the month, we'll pause and we'll take a look at stats and stuff. Hey Breeze, what's going on, man? How you been? It's been a couple of weeks. Things going okay? Things going well for you? Hinojosa hits his 42nd. Butler hits his 14th. Aparicio, 3 shutout innings. Denny gets that ERA under 4. That's nice to see. Game 2 at Milwaukee. 3-0 victory. What are you doing tonight, Breeze? How was your weekend? Did you do anything fun? And we get Powers back, and this guy's just crazy. I mean, we drafted him in the second round in 2028. He had 400 last year. He's hitting 415 this season. He's not going to play in enough games to qualify for the batting title. He keeps getting hurt. But, I mean, back-to-back seasons of above 400 hitting. He's an animal. I mean, if he could stay healthy, that would be really nice. But so far he hasn't been able to do that. Real with a great start. 1 hit, 8 innings, strikes out 6, wins his second game. So we're 83 and 42. You got to say it's a wild experience where the two rivals play their best. Yes. Yes. It was a great game. I mean, you ran into the bug where certain teams disappear from. Yeah, that I found that to happen mostly to me if my computer went to sleep and the game was on. That happened to me. It happened to me with my Rockies save back in like the second or third season. My computer went to sleep, and when I woke it up and went back into the game, I simmed ahead a day or a week or whatever it was, and I lost the minor leagues, and I lost. Yeah, that happened to me. So I went back and I loaded the game up. I don't know. It was like 4 months prior, and I had to resim the final four months of the year, and then from that point on, I just started backing up the save after every single video I do. So when I finish the live stream tonight, I'll back that up. But that sucks. I hope you weren't like super far into it. Is that the one where you were into 2034 or whatever it was? Oh, right. I gotta get Peoples back out there. Do I want him out there? I mean, maybe. Is there anybody? I mean, my pitching staff has been. I guess I can. Oh no, it's his. I think we send Ciccoli down for now, just because he's got the options, and he'll be back up in a week, so that's not the end of the world. So we'll get Peoples back up, make him long relief, and then at the end of the month we'll call Ciccoli back up as well. You can't. Oh man, that sucks. I am sorry to hear that. That's brutal. That is really, really brutal. I'm sorry to hear that. If you look at, here, I'll show you. I had to go through. I'm not a quick learner, so when Out of the Park 21 or 22 came out, I immediately started a save as the Red Sox, and I lost the save like 6 times because, let's see, does this pop up when I do that? I don't know if this pops up. We'll see. Yeah. You can see Sox, hopefully no crash. You've got my corrupt save for the Rockies here. I had to sim like 5 different Red Sox saves before I remembered to back it up after. Yep. I had to go back and recreate everything, and it was weird because when I recreated it, that was the year that the team ended up 83 and 79. We won like 68 games or something like that the first time through it. But you can see, I've it's happened to me. I lost this one. Again, this Red Sox one I have saved, hopefully no crash, because I'm not all that bright, and I would keep forgetting to actually exit out of the game when I finished. So, yeah, that sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Powers has 4 hits. He's up to 424. Hinojosa 3 hits, 2 RBIs, 2 more home runs. Norman has his 14th. We have 2 guys with 50, and that's a possibility. You're playing some All-Star Baseball 2004 featuring Jeter on the GameCube emulator. You're doing Rays versus Red Sox in Fenway, similar to in real life, but 2000. Well, the Rays 2004 roster was crummy. I think, right? I mean, I don't think were they still. I mean, I don't know. I think they were still really, really bad back in 04. I don't remember. I don't remember, but I think they were still really bad back then. So we win again, and we're just steamrolling. It's 6 wins in a row. 87 and 42, and there goes Andy Powers for yet another injury. So we'll send him to the DL, and we'll make sure we get Butler in the lineup. Aguilar's got 44 home runs. Denny picks up his 10th win. Who do we want to call up? Where did he get hurt? I'm looking for. Oh, he's here. He's not even ready yet. Who do we want to call up? Who do we want to call up? I guess it doesn't really. We'll call up Ferguson, and we will make sure that we get Butler in the lineup. Newton will be the backup. Do I want him batting third? I mean, I have a thing. That's kind of my thing for. I love that profile, but that 34 contact isn't going to get it done. So I think what we do is this. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. What I wanted to do was that. All right. And then against lefties, Newton should be out there, which he is. Jasic and Butler, neither of them can really hit lefties. I mean, Butler's got just really low contact, so he's not going to hit for a high average at all against lefties. Might hit for some power. I think we'll go with Jasic. Well, Butler's better defensively, right? Yeah, we'll go with Butler because he's better defensively, I guess. That's not what I wanted to do. Who did I just pull out of the game? Jones. All right, we'll stick him in right. Put him in left. Move Jones up. All right, and we'll keep going. We will keep going. Again, thank you guys for joining me here tonight. We're in our 14th season with the Colorado Rockies. We are a 3-time World Series champion, a 4-time division champion. We've made the playoffs 8 straight seasons and 9 of the last 10 as JD Martinez pops out. Or is that going to get down? Is that going to get down? No, it's foul ball. Okay. Yeah, playoffs 9 out of 10 seasons, at least 90 wins, like 8 of the last 10 years. It's been a real good run for us. It's been a real good run. It wasn't even, I don't want to sit here and like pat myself on the back, but it wasn't. I mean, we did a good job drafting. Is really what it was. We did a really, really solid job drafting, and then we got really lucky with Sam Wesniak, who is a kind of a Rocky legend at this point. We got him for next to nothing, and he put up just some monster, just crazy numbers for us over the span of 6 or 7 seasons before we let him go to Toronto for $33+ million a year. So we did a really good job drafting, and we got lucky with Wesniak, and that's really helped us just. Yeah, I mean, we've got the budget now. We've got money to spend every year. Fan interest is up. The loyalty is up. The market size is. I think the market size has increased. I can't remember. Yeah, it's been a good run. Been a really good run, and I think I'm just gonna keep going through the World Series. Once the World Series ends, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I may switch over to Franchise Hockey Manager when that comes out because I love me some hockey. So we'll see what happens there. But we win again, and we just keep winning. We just keep on winning. We are 47 games over 500. That's 9 wins in a row. Norman's 15-3. And of course, this means, those of you who have, I guess if you're here, you watch a lot you play a lot out of the park baseball. You know that I'm going to lose to the wild card team, right? Because that's how out of the park baseball works. It loves those wild card teams. We cannot lose right now. Shaw 8 shutout innings. Was it 10 in a row? 11 in a row? 10 in a row, I think. 3, 7, 10 in a row. 2 more games against Atlanta. 11-2. Jones 2 hits, 4 RBIs. Aguilar to 45 home runs. Denny is 11-3. Did JD get that one? Did he get it? Did he get it? Oh! Kiermaier right in front of the wall. Man, that was close. That was close. JD almost got that one. It's amazing that the Lightnings have no issue. It has, and correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't it have something to do with where the stadium is? Like, isn't the Trop in like just an awful place to get to? Because I've been to, is it still called Amalie? Is that what it's still called? Where Tampa plays? I went down there a few years ago for the Frozen Four. I used to go to the college hockey finals every year, and I went down to Tampa one year, and it was. And that seemed pretty easy to get to. But from what I understand, the Trop is just a pain in the ass to get to. So I think that has something to do with it. I could be wrong. Could be completely wrong. So Ramos was our first-round pick this year. He got a little better. Wow, a lot of our prospects got better. Gallagher was our second-round pick this year. Fox was our first-round pick a year ago. Two-way player, no stuff whatsoever, but elite movement, great control, great stamina. I mean, he will be a starting pitcher. Looks like he's got a couple of okay pitches, but he's got a great bat. Yeah, a lot of my young players are getting better. Cool. All right, so AL Batter of the Month, Samuel Zavala of Houston. This guy's been fantastic as well. Fragile injury history, but looks like he's played a bunch of games. He's had put together, 5 straight seasons of at least 6 WAR. That's part of it. The Trop is actually in St. Pete and a nightmare to get to with traffic from this side of the bay. Lightning owner actually invested in the surrounding areas, unlike the Rays. Yeah, I mean that's how I understood it. Was that part of the Trop's issue is that it's just not an easy ballpark not an easy ballpark to get to. So Hinojosa wins the NL Batter of the Month, AL Pitcher of the Month. Carson Montgomery, his first year in the American League after spending most of his career or all of his career in Miami. Steve Skark wins the Pitcher of the Month in the NL. He's a rookie. Wow, 4th overall pick in 2033. He's already up. He's a 3-win pitcher. AL Rookie of the Month, Franklin Bermudez, and I assume it's going to be Skark. Yep, Skark. All right, so we are 93-42. We have won 13 games in a row. We have a 22-game lead over the Padres, 24-game lead over the Diamondbacks. We are cruising to another division crown, which is sort of bittersweet because we've never won the World Series as a division winner. We've only won the World Series as a wild card. So hopefully this year will be different. But Aguilar, Hinojosa tied for the league lead in RBIs. Aguilar's got 130 RBIs. Hinojosa leads in OPS and WAR. Norman leads the National League in wins. Denny leads in WAR. So take a quick look at the pitching staff and stats and stuff, and we will sim quickly through October. So Denny's 11-3. I said in my video on Wednesday that I was pretty confident that he was going to bounce back. He got off to a really, really rough start. ERA of 5.5 through May. But you can see June, July, and August, he's kind of back to his normal ways. He's 9-0 in the last 3 months. 3.5 WAR in 3 months. So yeah, he's back to his old ways. He's fine. Mason Miller's been he's been really good since coming over to us. Almost 2 wins in just 10 games. Not striking a ton of batters out, but he's a ground ball pitcher, which is what I go for. Kevin Norman, FIP's a little bit high, relatively speaking, compared to his ERA, but he continues to pitch well. His ratings aren't great. I feel like they've dropped. No, not really. I mean, maybe his movement a tiny bit, but he's been okay. I mean, as long as he's not my ace, he's fine. Satterfield's been terrific. If you watch the last video, you'll see that he didn't give up a run for like 30 straight outings or something like that. He didn't give up his first run until June. I want to say it was 30 straight outings without giving up a run. Struggled a bit in June, was great again in July. He was 5-0 in July as a reliever. But he's been really good. He's been really, really good for us. And he was one of those players that I drafted based on his pitch type. Like anytime I draft, I look at the individual pitch rating potential. So I look for people with killer fastballs or whatever. And initially he had 5 pitches. He's lost a pitch, but his movement was fairly low and his control was fairly low, and he just developed. I mean, just developed. You can just see his ratings just up. And he's turned into a great bullpen piece. Muniz has been okay. Actually, I mean, he's been good. 2.5 WAR out of relievers, nothing to shake a stick at. Depending on what happens when the season ends, I don't know what we're gonna do with him, given that he's making $12 million this year and next. I mean, we'll probably just pay him. I mean, it's not like he's been terrible, but if we have to save money someplace, that's one place we can look. Real has been fine. coming in, came up midway through the season, and he's been really good so far. And then you got basically the bullpen arms and Elliott Shaw, who we picked up in May from the Yankees. He's been okay. I mean, just a touch above average. And then offensively, I mean, Hinojosa's already over. The Rays don't. Well, investing in the area and in the ballpark is different than investing in the ball club. I mean, the Rays. What are you going to do if you're the Rays? I mean, you can't. I don't know that you can justify bumping your payroll to 160, 170 million people, or 160, 170 million dollars when you're drawing, when you're filling your stadium halfway for a playoff game. Because I mean, ultimately, they're in it to make money. That's what these are. They're businesses. So you can invest in the ballpark because they can do other things there. You can have conventions. You can do other things like that. But yeah, it's when you're not drawing, it's hard to dump more money into it. So Hinojosa has had a great year. Jasic has had a great year. He actually started in the minors because he was hurt. Beckett Zavorak, we picked him up last year for his glove, and he's hitting .326 this year. So his ARB number is going to be, pretty high. That could be a potential issue. Aguilar at 3.9, Bowser at 2.1. We have him locked up for what, 2 more years after this? 3 more years after this. That could be a little rough on the back end, but we'll see. Butler's probably gone after this year, hitting for some power. He is gone after this year. I mean, his ARB number is going to be 7, and I don't think I'm going to pay him 7. Cabrera, we're going to have to figure out what to do with. I think the time has come this offseason to either trade Cabrera or not re-sign Zavorak. It depends on what I value more. And I mean, typically I value defense more, but he's not going to put this lineup again. I mean, he's a .250 hitter, so do we want to pay $7.5-8 million for that? I don't know. Jones again, bat's been not great the last couple years, and then you got the rest of the stuff. Freeland will be gone after this season. Newton will be gone after this season. What year am I in? I am in my 14th season, Jolly Roger. We started in 2021. 54 and 108. We are now in 2034. So year number 14 for us. That's 8 straight postseasons, 9 of the last 10 years. So I was hoping to get to year 20. I was hoping to do an even 20, but I don't know that I might. No, I'm not. There's no way I'm going to be able to get another 6 years in before the World Series ends. So, well, maybe we get to 15 and we call it a day. Maybe we get through our 15th season and we call it a day. I don't know. I got to call people up. I don't know what the plan is. And Ottavino is terrible. Throw a strike. We'll call up Ciccoli. We'll call up Rodriguez for the defense, I guess. McElfresh will be part of the roster next year. I don't want to call him up just yet, but he'll be up next year. See, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know how, I never really gave it much thought. I just said I'm going to keep playing and, I'll stop when I stop. You're in year 2044 with you. Winning with the Pirates is an impressive task. How did you do it? Did you trade some of the big names? Did you trade off, they don't even have any big names right now. Well, I guess they got, what's his name? I can't even think of his name now. Reynolds, did you trade off Reynolds? Or was it all just done through the draft? Did you spend money in free agency? How'd you do it? Another win for us. It's 14 wins in a row. Default gets hurt, and we finally lose. So that breaks a 14-game winning streak for us. Spent half your years in rebuilding. Yeah, that's something that has to happen, unfortunately. A team like the Rockies, if you can, I think we just got into that comfort zone, where we were making enough money to fill the free agent holes that we needed, but we were still bad enough that we were getting high draft picks and we were hitting on all of them. You kept some pieces. Did you do a like a live start? Was it like the beginning of 2022, or did you do it like midway through the season? Because the Red Sox save that I have going on offline right now, I did a live start date of, I think it was like the day after the trade deadline or something like that, and just started there. So Denny picks up the win. He's 12-3, so we're back on the winning track. Rault was a beast, and then it's out of the park for you. You find a pitcher that you love, you can pretty much guarantee that he's going to get hurt at some point. That's just the way things are with out of the park. Aguilar with number 47. Butler, it's his 16th. Ferguson with a pinch hit home run. 2-2 count. Runner. The Rays are going to score this inning. I just know it. Back-to-back losses. It's a lot of runs given up to Cincinnati. 3 straight losses. We've lost 4 games this month. 5 games this month. Did we even lose 5 games last month? We went 23-6 last month. So we're 49-13 in our last 2 months prior to September, and we're 3-5 here in September. You traded a lot of guys for prospects and then got a lot of good players. Yeah, I think one of the things I like the best about Out of the Park Baseball 22 versus the other versions is that the draft, previous seasons you would have, there were always 25-star players, and some of them would pan out and some of them wouldn't, and you just didn't know. Now you might not get a 5-star player in the draft at all. And you may have to pick a 3-star player and hope he develops. And because that to me is more realistic. I mean, that's real. That's what happens. Occasionally there are, surefire can't miss players in the draft, but more often than not, the Major League Baseball draft is a crapshoot. So I like what they did with the draft this year. To me, it feels more realistic. So back-to-back wins. Who got the shutout here? Shaw pitched really well. Look at that. 3 hits, no walks, 10 Ks. Hinojosa's up to 52 home runs. Can he get to 60? Can he get to 60? So we win again 2-1. So it's 3 straight wins. Miller goes 6. Satterfield gets the win. And Bowser's down for 2 weeks. That's not ideal. I guess I didn't really need to put him on the DL. It doesn't really matter. But what we'll do is we'll put Cabrera in, and we will make Zavorik the starting shortstop. That'll get, and we're not going to go lefty. I think we'll do this. Yeah, because Butler's got that solid bat against lefties. And here Zavorik will come in at short. And Freeland, is he better against lefties? He's okay against lefties. We'll just move him up there. Your first World Series was in 2030 and only had a couple of real-life players. Yeah, we're getting there. We are getting to the point where we are pretty much done with real-life players. I still have a couple. I've got Drew Jones. There's a strikeout. No, not. He's going to third. Are you kidding? And now he's caught in a rundown. It was the worst rundown I've ever seen. I don't know how many of you guys are watching this game, but that was the worst rundown I've ever seen in my life. That was ridiculous. Yeah, we're running out of real players as well to get myself back on track. O'Neal Cruz and Luis Castillo. So I'm assuming you did this pre-draft, so no Henry Davis, nothing like that. Is that accurate? Oh, we gotta keep going. I'm sitting here staring at this box score. So we win our 100th game. We're 147. Yeah, you did it pre-draft. I want to see. I haven't done this yet, but I want to pull up a live start and see what the Red Sox look like postseason. We lose back-to-back games. So we win our 100th game, and Out of the Park Baseball says, all right, that's enough. I want to see what the Red Sox look like in a live start post-game or postseason. That'd be interesting. 2 players with 52 home runs on the year. Miller gets the win. He's pitched really well for us. You're playing Out of the Park Go, so you're limited. Do you play any online stuff? That's something I've gotten hooked on here a little bit, is Out of the Park Online. I'm in a couple of online leagues, and I'm having a blast. I don't really play. Like, I have my Red Sox save offline, but I don't really I don't play it that much. It's usually like that last thing I do before bed. I'll sit and play 20. Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Go to if you go to the OOTP forums, you can find people posting for like needing to fill teams or whatever. In fact, I think one of the leagues I'm in may need somebody. If you're interested, let me know. I can. That was a bug, by the way. I wasn't just randomly like making hand gestures. If you're interested, let me know. I can talk to the GM and see or talk to the commissioner and see if there's an opening. I'm not entirely sure if there is, but there might be. I know there was, but I don't know if those spots have been filled. It doesn't require a ton of. There's not a huge time sink, more than anything. That was my fear initially, is that I wasn't going to have the time to do it. But off season, it sims every day. And then during the regular season, it's like every other day. It sims like 3 days a week or something. Do I have my assistant manager run the minors completely, or do I take a few prospects and manage them? Where, Kodiak? Here or online? Because, I think you see how I do it here, right? Like, basically every prospect that's 2.5 stars and up that has any sort of upside, I manage their development on my own. And in the online stuff, yeah, but your Pirates won the World Series. And that's the fun way to do it, right? Winning with prospects, winning with homegrown talent, that's the fun way of doing it versus spending the money. Oh, you see the locks, yeah. Yeah, I pretty much control the development for anybody who has almost any upside at all. It's pretty much anybody that's 2.5 stars and up that isn't a reliever. And I miss a couple people here and there, but like this guy, I don't, meh. But yeah, pretty much everybody I like to do myself. And I just look at, and really I base it off their stats. So even if their ratings suggest they may not be ready for the next league, if their stats suggest they are, like, I don't know if he's ready for high A ball, but he's pitched really, really well in low A. So I move him up. And that's how I've always done it. I prefer that level of micromanaging in my own minor league systems. And I also find that when I do it that way, and I don't know if there's anything to it, but I find that when I do it this way, my prospects develop better. That's just how I do it. Another loss. That's 3 out of 4. Another loss. So we're going to end up under 500 this month. Another loss. Yeah, Jolly Roger, that's, winning with prospects is always the most fun. It's I don't mind spending money on a free agent, but it has to be somebody that's there to, maybe fill that last spot. Like, if you look at our team, Hinojosa was an international guy, so I don't know what you want to count him as. Butler and Jasic were both trades, but Jasic was a minor leaguer. Aguilar was a Rule 5. Cabrera was a Rule 5. Jones was a draftee. Denny was a draftee. Norman was a draftee. Real was a draftee. So I like doing it the same way. I like, winning with the homegrown talent. So this has been a garbage month, 9-12, after going 45-13 the previous 2 months. So I don't know what it is about October, but or about September, but Rockies aren't having it. And Hinojosa's not going to hit 60. That sucks. I was hoping he might have an outside shot at it, but no go. Ottavino gets him to pop up. Is that going to end the inning, or is that going to reach? No, it's going to reach the seats. Game 2 against St. Louis is another win. Bowser's eligible to come off the DL, so we will stick him back in the lineup at second. No, it's short. We have him playing short. What am I doing? And Zavorak is at second. And then here, Bowser goes in for Zavorik. Not for my right fielder. Who do I have in? Is it Jasic? Yeah. Man, I am all over the place. Jasic, Bowser. Thank you. You're out. Nice pitch. Ottavito's pumped. All right, sorry. Let's keep going. Game 3. You all won back-to-back World Series in 2040 and 2041, and you had this guy, non-real-life player, ended with 595 career home runs and a 270 batting average. Yeah, that's... Andy Powers eligible to come off the deal. That's huge, so we'll get him back in the lineup, too. That's one of the... Like, for us, it was Sam Wesniak. Like, he was the... I think he's real. Like, I haven't ever looked him up, but I think he's a real player. Let's see if he has a... he's got a Twitter handle. So he's a real player, but, you get these players that you just latch onto and you just attach to, and they're just, some of them are so good, and you never want them to leave your team, and for us it was Wesniak, but he was asking for too much money, so I made the decision to send him away, much to the dismay of some of the people that were watching the night I did it, but, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Powers back in there, and we'll leave him in the 6 hole against lefties. All right, so we win again. Anything interesting? Aguilar hits his 54th. Jones is 13th. Real gets another win. We're 105 and 54. I think our record for most wins is 108. Is that right? 108? We won 108 one year? No, 105. So if we win one more game, we have the best record in team. Was it Pivetta? Man, you're right. It was 37. It wasn't 0, wasn't it? I don't know. Yeah. This is what happens when I try to do things at once. Yeah, that was Pivetta. Thank you. Loading your backup to see where you were. You had been doing it after every season. You forgot to do it after 2033, so you may be a year and a half. You had an awesome third-round pick. Came up in 33, won MVP. That stinks. That stinks, Kodiak. It's but it's one of those things where it's like, when it took me, I don't remember how long it took me to get this save back to where it was. It was a couple hours. It took me a couple hours to do it, but it was worth it because I wanted to keep the save going. So, there were some people that were telling me to start over as a new team, but I just didn't want to. I wanted to see it through. So, Breeze, I noticed that you hadn't posted a video for your Red Sox save in a while. I watched the first one. I haven't seen anything in a while, though. All right, so we got three games left? Do we have any games next month? I can't do math. No. So as long as we don't get swept by Oklahoma City, we will break our record for wins in a season. And we're going to get swept by Oklahoma City, because of course we are. Did we get swept? We did. Of course we got swept. Why wouldn't we get swept? Stupid game. Oh, man. Anything interesting here? Not particularly. This is the player you were talking about in NB. That's a season. 334, 44 home runs. Yeah, that's a good season. You've been busy with... So, no, that makes sense, man. I get it. Like I said, I sit here and I work, and basically the way my work day goes is I start at 7:30, 8 o'clock, whatever it is, and I get all of my morning stuff done, and I get all the work done that I know needs to be done, and then once I get all that done, then I'm just kind of sitting here handling stuff as it comes across. So once that happens, I'm able to fire up a this or one of my other games and post my video, and like I said, it may be broken up into chunks because I can only do 7 or 8 minutes at a time. But all right, so we lost. That was just an awful month. That was just an awful month. We 12 and 15. I don't know where that came from after 23 and 6 and 22 and 7. 674 slugging, 1106 OPS. Yeah, that's good. 1106 OPS will play for sure. Oh, you got a holiday tomorrow? A day off tomorrow? That's nice. I don't know when I'm going to get a day off again. So Pivetta's pitching tonight. So who starts tomorrow? Because Pivetta was scheduled to be tomorrow's starter. So, Houck? Is it Tanner Houck? Because he didn't pitch today. He pitched in game, whatever it was, game 2. So does Houck get the start and go 3 innings or whatever? All right, so we made the postseason. We won 105 games. We finished 17 games clear of San Diego. Top offense in the National League again. But surprisingly, we had the best bullpen in the National League. And we always struggle with our bullpen. But this year, top bullpen in the National League, 6th best pitching staff in terms of starters ERA. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, no, that makes sense. He went, an inning and 2/3 in game 1 or something like that? He went less than 2 innings, right? An inning and a third, inning and 2/3. Andy Powers hit .421. So back-to-back 400 seasons for Andy Powers. If he could ever play a full season, I would be really interested to see what that looks like. But 401 last year, 421 this year. So, yeah, I mean, we need a solid 4th outfielder because he's always hurt. But if he hits 421 in half a season, I'll take it. So, is that Arroyo up? Yeah, it's Arroyo up. All right, so I guess let's quickly take a look at the stats again before we get to the postseason. So Denny finishes 12-6, pitches over 200 innings again this year. ERA over 4. Is that his first year with his ERA over 4? No, he had a couple. Okay. 116-56 as a pitcher for the Colorado Rockies. Not bad. Mason Miller came over and was terrific. 7-5, 3.89. Won 15 games on the year. Real was really good as a rookie. Norman won 15 games. He was okay. Started the season off really hot in terms of record. You can see he was 8-1 through May, but struggled down the stretch. Was really bad in September. Satterfield finished with 114 strikeouts in 65 innings. Shaw might be the odd man out. Or is it Norman? Surprisingly, it might be Norman if we go by who was hotter down the stretch. I mean, I guess Shaw wasn't particular. Oh, no, he was good in September. 3-0 with a 2.62. 183 ERA plus, 12 walks, 12 Ks per 9. So it might be Shaw, and Norman might be the odd man out if we go with a 4-man rotation. We'll decide that in a minute. 432 on base and a 206 OPS. 206 OPS plus is redonkulous. That's just an absolutely stupid number. Offensively, Hinojosa put up over 9 wins, 53 home runs, 105 RBIs, walked 130 times, 1081 OPS, 158 OPS plus. Aguilar hit 54 home runs, drove in 148. So, yeah, I'd say that Rule 5 pick worked out. The team decided. When did he retire? Like, recently? Were you, like, sad and, like, depressed when he retired? Because sometimes I get sad when some of my players retire. That's down the third baseline. That's going to be extra bases for Arroyo. Let's go! And now we got Schwarber, so you have to think they're probably going to walk Schwarber. But do you walk Schwarber and get to Kike, who's been, like, the hottest hitter in the world in this series? So, here we go. An opportunity for the Sox. Yeah, Zavorik had a great season. I mean, technically he was below average OPS plus, but 312, 356, 432, and will likely win a Gold Glove with a 15 zone rating and a 1.126 efficiency, so he'll likely win the Gold Glove at second. I will. You know I will. I'll yell. I'll scream. I celebrate when my fictional Out of the Park people win in Out of the Park. So if the Sox win, I'm absolutely going to celebrate. He retired in 24. You just, yeah, it's, you know, it doesn't, it feels like there's a hole in your lineup when that player's gone, right? Like when you start the next season and you're setting your lineup for opening day and you're just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know, who's going to fill his spot. It's tough. It's tough. We had a ton of good offensive performances. So let's quickly, let's take a look at the league leaders. Really, it's Dahlbeck. I'm watching it on YouTube TV, so I'm like 7 seconds behind or something like that. Really, they're pinch hitting Schwarber for defensively, right? Defensively. So did Dahlbeck come in previously for Schwarber? I haven't noticed, because I can't imagine you're pinch hitting, especially against a righty. You're not pinch hitting Bobby Dahlbeck for Kyle Schwarber. So Dahlbeck had to have come in as a defensive sub, and I just missed it. He was 39 and he was declining. You managed to. Oh, you traded. He came in as a pinch runner. Okay. You didn't trade him, you just retired, and then in the offseason you got yourself a prospect to replace him. That's the way to do it, because then you fill that hole with a new prospect that you try to get excited about. So let's look at the National League. Yeah, Bobby D against righties just isn't a wonderful thing. There's a lot of purple on this list. Tony Olney, who is a former Colorado Rocky. Look at it. You got Olney on there. You got Ike Acker, who's a former Rocky. Finished 4th. Aguilar and Hinojosa 1-2 in home runs. Aguilar 1st in RBIs. CJ Lohr, 441 on base percentage. Hinojosa's got to be the MVP, right? Ugh, yeah, that's about what you expect out of Dahlbeck against a righty. 649 slugging, 1081 OPS, 9 wins, 53 home runs. All right, let's get to the postseason. Let's see who we are going to be playing. He decided to retire, and you drafted a prospect that's good at third base. Yeah, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. I hoped that Wesniak wouldn't want, $35 million or whatever it was, and I would have been able to keep him around, because I would have kept him around, as a pinch hitter, even if he wasn't particularly good, but I couldn't afford what he was making. Come on, Kike. I absolutely love Kike Hernandez. Let's see what he does here. Pops up. All right, so let's... What are we doing? Playoff roster. Playoff roster. That's not where I wanted to go. I wanted to go here and here. Pretty much rookie of the year. That's good. So, you're able to just... it's like left field for the Red Sox, right? It goes from Williams to Yastrzemski to Rice to, I guess you could throw Greenwell in there and so on and so forth. You replace one with another, and that's the way to do it. All right, so for some reason they don't have Jasic on the playoff roster. Is he going to make it? No, he's out. All right. Oh, well, so we go to the 12th. All right, so who is coming out? I don't want Ferguson. We'll get Jasic back in there. I don't know why he wasn't on the roster anyway. None of these guys are going to be on the roster. Do I want to put... Yeah, why is Frank... Who comes off the pitching roster? Ciccoli. Is Ciccoli even on it? Yeah. Ciccoli comes off, Frank comes in. All right. So... Norman, I think, is the odd man out. And we're going to go... Denny, Miller, Real, and Shaw. And then we're going to change things up a little bit here when it comes to the bullpen. So Satterfield's going to be a stopper as well. I want these guys pitching just as much as possible. Late in a close game, 7th in a close game. Norman will be a middle reliever, use more often, / setup. Is there anybody I want to use less? We're going to avoid high leverage there. And then the rest of my bullpen is just really solid. So we are going to stick with Aparicio, but we're going to bring him 8th or later as a closer. Muñez and Satterfield will be the stoppers. Wander Franco is just, he is... Your lineup feels empty, right? That's what I'm talking about. Like, you could have like 8 of your 9 starters back, but if that one guy is missing, it just feels off somehow, especially if he's been there for years and years and years. It just feels off. What did I do? Right field, center field. Backup second baseman is going to be Cabrera. We're not ever going to start any of these guys. Never. I don't want some weird thing where Gabe Briones is starting Game 7 and batting leadoff because the AI is dumb. So we're going to do this. And then against lefties, just set the depth chart and set everything to never. We're going to run with the lineups that have worked for us. Ride or die, as they say. All right, so let's get to the postseason. He'll be your first player to make the Hall of Fame. That's always nice. That's always fun, too. So what do we got? We got the Jacksonville Maulers against the Baltimore Orioles in the AL wildcard, and then the Padres and the Nats in the NL. And Peoples is hurt. Is he? Okay, so I guess Peoples comes off and we put Ciccoli on, which is fine. We'll just have Ciccoli in as a long relief, avoid high leverage. And we will put Norman as backup long relief in case one of our starters gets hit hard or something. All right, so playoff coverage, playoff tree. San Diego, Washington, Jacksonville, and Baltimore. Hey, Expos fan. Yeah, Powers, that's his second straight season over 400. He hit 401 last year, hit 421 this year. He just gets hurt all the damn time. He's hurt right now. He gets hurt all the time. But yeah, last year, 106 games, hit 401. This year, in 85 games, he hit 420. It's just crazy. He's making the minimum still, which is the best part about it. So we've gotten, what's that? That's 10.1. We've gotten 12 WAR out of him for the league minimum. That is nuts. Yeah, he's been good. Hi to you as well. Thanks for stopping by here tonight. I appreciate it. And thank you to everybody who stopped by and kept me company here tonight. I appreciate it. I would have sat here and talked to myself for a couple of hours, but it's a whole lot better to talk to other people. So, yeah. So the Orioles beat Jacksonville. Let's see. San Diego's going to win, right? Because we have to play San Diego every single season in the postseason. Oh, very nice. Washington wins. So we finally are playing a team not from the National League West. Instead, we're taking on the 100-win Washington Nationals because, of course, we are second best offense against the first best offense. They had the best starters ERA. They have John Dodd, who's an absolute monster. I could look at these strikeout numbers. He's 30 years old now. He struck out 2,300 batters and won 100 games by the time he hit his age 30 season. He's a Hall of Famer if he retires today. So this is going to be an interesting series for us. They've got Dodd. Christman is another one. He's only 26. He's a stud. 18th round pick. Is that what that said? Yeah, 18th round pick in 2026. Marco Ramirez, 26-year-old, still developing. And they're actually starting Tony Olney. Interesting. So he is a two-way player for him. Very interesting. Any notable injuries? Pavin Smith looks like he started most of the year, is out. Ed Molina's out. And then, yeah, none of these guys played much of this season. So Kyle Tucker's still going strong for him at age 37. 28 home runs, 114 RBIs. 412, almost 2,500 hits for Tucker. This is when it's fun to get into this, this part of the save. You see how these players have developed over the years, some of the players that are rookies now. Franco, is that a flyout? Yeah, okay. All right, so yeah, we are going to start to sim, and like I said, when we get to an elimination game, we'll let the AI take over, and we will jump into the game and watch it. Oh, that's right. They don't get to start Dodd because he must have started the wild card game. So it's going to be Christman against Denny in game 1. And, of course, we're losing 1-0, and we get blown out in the process. This game, man. Of course, the wild card team is going to beat us. Denny doesn't make it out of the third. They hit 3 home runs. Joey Bart, who's 37 and hit 25 home runs this year because sure, why not? All right, game 2. Marco Ramirez against Mason Miller. The series is tied at 1. That's what I like to see. We bounce back nicely with a 6-run 6th inning. Let's go. Freeland a couple hits, couple RBIs. Newton a couple RBIs. Powers with a couple of RBIs. Man, Pivetta looks sharp tonight. Miller goes 4 2/3. Satterfield, Norman. Yeah, so that worked out exactly the way I wanted it. Satterfield, Norman, Aparicio go 4 1/3. But that also means now I think we're going to be taking on Dodd in Game 3. Either Game 3 or Game 4. Come on, Nick. Pause real quick while we watch the 0-2 pitch. Struck him out. Oh, no, he fouled it off. Christian jumped up. Oh, the ball must have gotten him. Yeah, all right. So Game 3, the rookie is going against the former Rocky, it looks like. Real against Olney. No, it is Dodd. So the rookie is going against John Dodd in Washington. So talk about a hostile environment. Let's see what happens. We win. We beat him. 7-3. Let's go. 6 RBIs from Aguilar, 2 home runs. He has 8 RBIs in 3 games. Real outpitches Dodd. Fantastic. So we're going to go to Game 4, and we're going to let the AI take over. It's going to be Elliott Shaw against Tony Olney in Game 4 in Washington. We can put that run off the field. I love it. I love it. All right, let's go. Let's play the game. And now it's hands-free. So they're going to be starting Mike Avilar in center, batting leadoff. Ty Southacene will bat second and play second. Olney is going to bat third and pitch. Kyle Tucker will bat fourth and play left field. Tayshaun Walton bats fifth, plays right. Joey Bart does the catching in the 6th hole. Tamar Johnson bats 7th at short. Eduardo Garcia batting 8th and playing third. And Tim No batting 9th at first. For us, Hinojosa, Freeland, Newton against the lefty. Aguilar, Jones, Powers, Bowser, Neal, and Elliott Shaw. Only 16-5 on the season. So let's see how it goes. Let's start simming. And I'm going to sit back and watch just like you guys. Olney against Hinojosa leading it off. And we're up 1-0. That's the way you like to start a baseball game. 402 feet. Dave Hinojosa gives us a 1-0 lead. That's what you like to see. Good start there. Freeland now grounds it to second. 1 away. Newton. Are we up 2-0? No, it's going to be caught. And Aguilar. He strikes out. Okay, so we take a 1-0 lead after half an inning. Aguilar, it's going to be an infield single for him. So they get their leadoff man on. Then a strikeout. And Aguilar steals second, so a runner in scoring position with 1 out. It's going to be a pop-up on the right side. Second baseman Zavorik is there, puts it away. 2-2 pitch to Tucker, and we get out of that without giving up a run, so we're up 1 through 1. Drew Jones leads off, and he hits a high. Is that going to get out? Is that going to get out? Oh, caught right in front of the wall. Andy Powers hits that one to center, and that's over the center fielder's head. That's what I like to see. 1 out double by Powers. Bowser tries to get him home. He strikes out. And here comes the catcher, and that's a pop-out. So we don't get the runner home from second either. We're up 1-0 through an inning and a half. Tayshaun Walton will lead off and strike out. Joey Bart, 37 years old now, ties the game at 1. It's going to be off the wall. Yep, it's going to be a double off the wall, so another 1-out extra base here, another 1-out base runner for the Nationals. Tamar Johnson at 280. That's a blooper to right. Is Bart going to come home? Yeah, he is. He's going to score. Johnson's going to go to second, and we are tied at 1. A little bit. He hit like 11 home runs this year, or were you trying to be funny, Breeze? He has a little bit of power. He hit like 11 home runs. Tim No strikes out, and that will bring up Avilar, and he's hit by the pitch. So the bases are loaded for Southacene. Grounded to first. 3-1, and we get out of that. And Rafael Devers looks ridiculous when he swings and misses right now with how much pain he's in. You feel for the kid. Shaw leads off, and the pitcher gets a base hit. You were just asking, and maybe you were putting... Yeah, I could tell you were trying to be punny. I could tell. That's okay. But yes, to answer your question, he's got a little bit of power. I think he hit 11 home runs this year. Or maybe he hit 11 last year and he hit like 8 this year. I don't entirely remember. Freeland strikes out. 2 outs, runner on first. Here comes Newton, and that's going to end the inning. Nope, it's going to be an infield. No, it's a diving play. Nice play by their shortstop. Only will lead off. Grounds it into the shift. 1 away. Here comes Tucker. Into the shift. 2 away. And Tayshaun Walton. He struck out last time and gets a base hit this time. So 2 out base runner for them. But we get out of the inning. So through 3, we are tied at 1. Yeah, they're having themselves a game here. It's a fun way to end my Saturday night as Aguilar's hit by a pitch. A fun Saturday night. A fun way to end my Sunday night is this game. Even if, I remember, come on, Xander. The 18 World Series, Game 3 that went 18 innings. That game, I didn't care whether they won or lost. I was just, Powers with a base hit. Powers doing what he does. They brought the infield in the 4th inning. Come on. But yeah, that game, as much as I wanted them to win, I wasn't all that disappointed when they lost because it was just such a dramatic game with, Evaldi pitching 6 innings in relief and a walk-off home run, and it was pretty awesome. So we take the lead. We're up 1-0 now through 3.5. Johnson with a leadoff single. Is that for Dugo? Yeah. And another single. So back-to-back hits to lead off the 4th inning for Washington. No grounds into second. 6-4-3, or 4-6-3 rather. That's what we like to see. And they get a base hit to tie it as Verdugo flies out. So it's 2-2 here in the 4th. It's 4-4 there going into the 13th. So Aguilar steals another base. Wild pitch will send him to third. 3-1 pitch now to Southesine. Down the right field line, and we're trailing for the first time here tonight as Southesine doubles home the runner, and we are down 3-2. That's going to be a fly ball to left, so we're losing. It's 9 hits and 3 runs off of Shaw. They let him hit. Interesting. Okay. Hinojosa again. He homered in the first. Strikes out here. And Freeland, is that going to get down? Yeah, it's going to get down. So base hit, 2-out single for Freeland. That'll bring up Newton. It's going to get down as well. So first and second with 2 outs for Aguilar. And he strikes out. Nuts. You were at Game 3 in 2004 when Pedro started versus the Cards. Oh, man. That must have been something. That must have been something. That's one of those moments where, obviously, with I remember where I was when my kids were born, but it's one of those moments that I will never forget what I was doing and where I was in Game 4. I was at a bar with my now wife, my girlfriend at the time, and we left after, I think going into the bottom of the 7th inning. So I wanted to watch the end of the game at home. So I made her leave the bar with me, and we came home and we watched the end of the game in my living room. Andy Powers with 3 hits. Is that going to get out? Diving catch out in right field. Wow. All right. Damn, we're getting some lumber on the ball, but not able to score. So in comes Grant Newton. Walks the first batter. Throws a wild, that's a pass ball. Looks like we might be playing another game here. There's a strikeout. No, pops up. I think Pedro went 6 in that game. Went 6 or 7. Aguilar walks. Southesine strikes out. That must have been something. I would say the most important game I've ever been to in sports, not just baseball. I was at Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals between the Bruins and the Blackhawks because I'm in Chicago. So obviously I made it a point to get to that game. So I was at game 2. That was a overtime winner for the Bruins. That was pretty cool. So 7th inning stretch. We're still down by a run. So we may have to play a winner-take-all game 5 unless we can get something done in the last 2. Here comes Satterfield. 1 away. Strikes out Tucker. And walks Walton. Walton's going to steal. Or is he going to be caught? No, he stole. All right, so 2-0 pitch on Bart. Grounded to first, and that retires the side. We go to the 8th. Down by a run. They bring in their closer. Fly ball to right. It's going to be 1 out. Aguilar strikes out. 3 Ks on the day for Manny. Cabrera walks as a pinch hitter. Powers is out. So we're going to the bottom of the 8th, down by a run. Ground ball to third, 1 away. Eduardo Garcia strikes out, and the final batter, well, potential final batter, no strikes out. So we're going to the 9th. We need a run, and we've got like 6, 7, 8 coming up, I think. Bowser, did he tie it up? Did he get it? Did he get it? Did he get it? No. Damn. Neal grounds it to first. That's 2 away, and Jasic will pinch hit. And he strikes out. So there will be a game 5. There will be a deciding game 5. Hinojosa led off the game with a home run. Powers had 3 hits and an RBI. But other than that, it was ugly. Ugly offensively. Johnson had 2 hits for them. Garcia had 2 hits. Aguilar had 2 hits. And the Rays just get a hit. Only went 7, gave up 2 runs. Shaw didn't pitch terribly. 9 hits, 3 runs. No walks, 5 strikeouts. Newton and Satterfield pitched solid innings. So, all right, well, we're going to game 5. And we got our ace on the mound, which is the way we want it. We're going to have Jim Denny on the mound for game 5 at home in Colorado. Let's go ahead and play it. So, same lineup for us because we got a lefty on the mound again. Oh, hell. Get there, get there, get there. Okay. Those big swings, when you don't have the volume on your TV and you're watching the game and all you see are the swings, like you assume everything that's hit is a home run, but that was just a lazy fly out. So, yeah, so they have the same lineup, minus no at first. They got only at first and Crispin batting 9th, and for us it's the same lineup that started yesterday. So let's get to it. Let's see if we can win at home. In 84, your parents decided to take a massive vacation. You hit the National Football League Hall of Fame, then up to Detroit to Tiger Stadium, then into Canada, Niagara Falls, Cooperstown, New England, and Fenway. That's a trip. That is a trip, as Aguilar gets a leadoff single. South the scene flies out to left. Yeah, that's a that's quite a trip. He's out by a mile. I did with my grandparents when I was like 7. We did because at the time I was living in Boston, so we did the Springfield for the Basketball Hall of Fame, Cooperstown for the Baseball Hall of Fame, and then up into Toronto to the Hockey Hall of Fame. So we did 3 of the 4 Hall of Fames in one trip, and that was pretty cool. You saw Texas, that stinks, versus both Detroit and Boston. So is that old Tiger Stadium or is that their new one? I don't know how long ago your parents were 80. How long your parents? Oh, you said 84. Never mind. I thought you said when they were 84. So you saw them in old Tiger Stadium. The Tigers were good back in 84 too. So scoreless first inning. Patriots made they've got an issue when it comes to fumbling the baseball. That is or fumbling the football. That is an accurate statement, Breeze. Especially their running backs. Their running backs cannot hold on to the football, and it's gonna hurt them all. It's already hurt them, but it's gonna continue to hurt them if they can't figure it out. Those Texas teams in the mid 80s were terrible, though. So you probably saw a couple of wins by the home teams, I'd imagine. Tamar Johnson strikes out, so we get through that inning without giving up a run. Jones grounds out to short. I'm sure Bill does everything. Like, I know he will wet the balls down for games where it's going to be rainy. I don't know what you can do. I mean, I really don't know what you can do to keep somebody from fumbling the ball. It's you just need to hold on to it. There's a base hit. That brings up our pitcher, though. So we're in Game 5 of the National League Division Series here in 2044. And Denny strikes out. There's a strikeout for Garcia. Here comes their pitcher. He grounds to third. Come on, Nick. That's a 2-run homer. Or is it a double? What was that? Did that bounce off the top of the wall? Did that ball just bounce off the top of the wall? For those of you who are watching it, did that bounce off the top of the wall in right field? Because if it did, the runner goes back to third. I think that ball bounced off the top of the wall and over. And that should be a double, right? And this is huge. Yeah, Texas was atrocious back then, yeah. They had OOTP McDowell. I don't know if they had him in 84. That hit the... No, that bounced on the warning track and then went over the wall. Okay, so that's a double. Oh, it bounced off the wall, then off of Renfroe, then over the wall. So is that a double? I don't know what... I've never seen... Well, I mean, I guess I have seen it before. It's a double. Yeah, so it's a double. So Tucker with a 1... I haven't even been paying attention to the game here. What's going on here? So it's nothing. Kyle Tucker just steals second on a strike him out, throw him out. So the Rays are going to have second and third. That's crazy. Wow, Sox got lucky there. Should be a double since it hit the ground. Yeah. Sox got lucky there. Like, if it had bounced off of the wall and then hit Renfroe and didn't hit the ground and went over the wall, that would have been a home run, right? Kind of like the Jose Canseco off the head. But because that hit the ground, that's got to be a double. I don't know how it could be anything else. Jones with a, speaking of a double, Drew Jones with a 1-out double. Here comes Andy Powers. He's hit by the pitch. Bowser hits that one to left center. It's going to be caught out there. And Brady Neal now strikes out. So no score here in the fourth. Grounder to first. Johnson with a bloop single to center. 1 out here in the fifth. Yeah, second and third. Wow. That is crazy, crazy, crazy luck. 4-3 to end the inning. So we're going to the bottom of the fifth. Still no score. The Sox still have life. Here comes Denny. He strikes out again. Hinojosa now. I mean, what would out of the park baseball be if you didn't have a Game 5 scoreless in the fifth inning in Colorado, of all places? Ground ball to short. So they're leaving Pivetta out there. I have the volume down, so I don't know who's up. But Kiermaier bats towards the bottom of the lineup, so is it... Tony only gets tossed in Game 5 of the World Series. He gets tossed for arguing balls and strikes. Bad idea, Tony. Here comes Newton, and that's a ground out to first in the bottom of the sixth. Aguilar... A little blooper. It's going to be a single to right center field. Only our fourth hit of the game. Drew Jones now. 5-4. Nope, just 5-4. So we have a runner on second, a runner on first, 2 outs. Powers grounds out. Zunino. Okay, well, this is the guy. I mean, Zunino's not likely to get a single here. So it's either going to be 3-0 or we're going to the bottom of the 13th. The humidor's in full effect. Yeah, it really is. Like, we're going into the 7th inning, and it's a scoreless game in Colorado. It's crazy. Fly out to center. Walton now strikes out. Zunino pops it up. I'm watching this and that at the same time, so if I get distracted, I'm sorry. Bart grounder on the infield. So that's 7 shutout innings for Denny. Bowser strikes out. Neal. Double to right. There we go. Let's go. Runner on second, 1 out, bottom of the 7th. But that means they're probably going to pull Denny, which is fine. Oh, they're going to let him hit. And he grounds to first. Okay, so we have a runner on third, 2 outs, and Hinojosa is up, and of course he strikes out. 2-1 pitch to Tony Ford. Pinch hitter for them, grounded to third, 1 away. 3-1 pitch to Garcia. That's going to be a walk. Chrisman bunts it back to the mound, so that's a 1-4 put out. Come on, Nick! And strike 3. So we're going to the bottom of the 8th. Still scoreless in Colorado. Freeland strikes out. Newton pops it up to the catcher. And Aguilar hits that one to center. So we're going to the 9th, scoreless in Game 5. I'm going to send Denny back out there. Got him! There we go, Nick! He's pumped. He's pumped. I'm pumped. We're all pumped. We're going to the 9th inning of a scoreless game here as well. Denny's still out there. There's 1 out in the 9th. Oh, and we got a rain delay in the 9th, and it's visions of 2016 and the Cubs and Indians in the World Series. A rain delay late in the game. Oh, did he get it? Oh, no. Home run, Kyle Tucker in the 9th. All right, so we're going to the bottom of the 9th. It's score a run or go home. And they're bringing in their closer. I think we've got 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Jones hits that one to center. Catch is made out there. Powers hits that one to left. Yeah, Pivetta for MVP. Well, if the Sox win, yeah. I mean, he's been lights out. And we lose. We went 105 games, and once again, we lose to the wild card team because out of the park baseball. Of course we do. That is our 5th division crown and the 5th time we have not won the World Series. We've won 3 World Series, all as the wild card. Denny, 8 1/3 shutout, 4 hits, 1 walk, 7 Ks. Chrisman, 8 innings, 5 hits, no walk, no runs, 1 walk, 9 Ks. And Tucker gets the clutch home run in the 9th. So, yeah. All right, well, let's just go, I guess, and see what happens. That stinks. That stinks. How long have I been going for? Hour and a half? We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. I mean, the game's still on. May as well keep going, right? I got nothing going on. Again, thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. Kodiak, Breeze, Jolly Roger, Expos, everyone who's popped into chat and said something. And those of you who haven't said anything and are just here to get drops, that's fine too. I appreciate you hanging out. I hope you're enjoying what you're watching. I try to stream every Sunday night. Doesn't always happen. I've got my second career is that of a sports broadcaster for some local high schools and colleges and stuff in the area, and I might have a game next Sunday night. I don't think I do, but I might. I don't know. But if I don't, I'll be streaming. But if I do have a game, I won't be. So, yeah, it's going to be, we're going to start the postseason, and we're going to see what happens. You haven't been seeing any Twitch drops? Yeah, I don't. Between you, me, and the 8 other people in the stream, I don't even know how it works because, I'm old. But I'll let Chris deal with that. So, Chris, you can deal with that. I'm just going to continue to talk about the Colorado Rockies. And the Toronto Blue Jays win the 2034 World Series. That is unexpected. Let's take a look. Oh, we're expanding. We are expanding. Interesting. Okay. So we've played long enough that we're now expanding for a second time. Let's go here, and nope, I want to go here, and here, and here. You did drops from another stream this morning. Can you only get a certain number a day? Like, I thought it was just however long you were in a stream, like, you could get drops. Like, I don't even know how it works. Yeah. So Sam Wesniak picks up another World Series title. I think that's 4 for him now. He's a 3-time MVP. He's a 4-time world champion. They had they won 100 games, so I don't want to say they had an okay team. I mean, they won 100 games. Yeah, congratulations to the Toronto Blue Jays, your 2034 World Series champions. The Memphis Swashbucklers and the Nashville Sky Chiefs. I like this. The Nashville Swashbucklers. All right, next step. 25 players, auto protect with less than 3. Sure, let's expand the league. Man, this game's killing me. Bottom of the 13th, 1 out. Who's pitching for the Rays? Of course, they went away from it as soon as the pitcher was starting to turn around. All right, so what do we got to do? We have $38 million because I think we had people opt out of contracts. So let's see what's going on here. Kumar Rocker voided, Andrew Jones voided. That's not a huge surprise. Given Rocker's injury status, I'm more liable to just let him go. I mean, he hasn't pitched a full season for us in 2 years. And he's been with us for 3 years. He only pitched 1 full season. And he was okay. And pitched 31 games in 2032. Only pitched 14 last year and only 17 this season. So that's fine. Drew Jones going could be a potential issue. Oh, wait. He executes his option year. Okay, that's fine. He executed his option year, so we get Drew Jones back. New budget, $190 million. We don't have any of the top 10 prospects. Vasquez, get it? Christian Vasquez, baby! Ball game! You love to see that. Yes! I'm going to watch him celebrate for a second. Patino was pitching, Kodiak. He's not pitching anymore. He was pitching. Sox win it. Nick Pivetta has balls of steel. And the Sox walk it off in 13. You love to see that. Nice. Minor league system rankings. Let's get back to that. 21st. Not good. We got Miguel Fresh and Real. Real is going to fall off that list this year. Miguel Fresh will get the call up. And Christian goes yard. He only hits like 6 home runs this year. I mean, I kind of feel bad for Tampa because that was a raw deal last inning. That was absolutely a raw deal because Kiermaier would have ended up at third, and the runner on third absolutely would have scored. I mean, I guess it wouldn't have mattered because it was a 2-run homer, but yeah, that's a raw deal. That's a raw deal for Tampa. But I don't really care. So Sox are now up 2-1 in the series, and they've got... we'll see. Rodriguez probably pitching tomorrow. Rodriguez and Houck will probably be kind of the 2 guys that they try to get through most of those first 4 or 5 innings, I'd imagine. All right, we got to continue. So what are we doing? When is the expansion draft? Expansion draft is on the 28th. It's the day after free agency, so we got some time. So let's go to arbitration and figure out what we want to do here. So I can't offer any of these players arbitration, which kind of stinks. They all are probably going to want a lot of money. Yeah, I don't want to pay him that. Rocker probably wants... I don't understand this. I don't understand this contract at all. I mean, I'm not complaining about it. It means I'm likely to sign him, but I don't understand this contract at all. Because had he stayed with us for the 2035 season, he would have made more money than for the next 2 years that he's asking for. So I don't understand that contract. I don't understand that contract. So we may end up bringing Rocker back for $12 million. I mean, that's nothing. We're going to let Romo walk. We're going to let Sanchez walk. Yeah, we're going to let Sanchez walk. What does our pitching staff look like? Right now we've got, well, Miller's not there. So we've got 3 starters plus McElfresh. So if we go here and here, call McElfresh up. So yeah, we absolutely could use a starter. We've got Denny, McElfresh, Real, and Shaw. So we will need a starter. Maybe it'll be Rocker. Maybe we can sign him to... oh, no, we've got Norman. I forgot about Norman. So we do have 5 starters, but Norman, it looked like his ratings dropped again. Yeah, they did. His movement dropped again. And a low-movement pitcher in cores, especially as a fly ball pitcher, that is a recipe for disaster. So we're going to see what we can do here with Kevin Norman. Yeah, that's about what I would expect. A bunch of middle relievers and bats that are bad. That sounds about right. Is there anything at all worth looking at? We may just leave him exposed in the expansion draft. I want to check and see who's going to be upcoming in free agency, because we might also leave Andrew Jones, Jr., I guess, exposed as well if there is a center fielder who's going to be a free agent. Yeah, there's just nothing there. Like, nobody wants him. So if we go to upcoming free agents, old friend Luke Lito is free agent. How did he do last year in Atlanta? Really, really well. 831 OPS, 8-2, put up 4, almost 5 wins between pitching and offensively. So he just continues to get it done. We let him go, and he's been fine. Yeah, there are a couple of good starters out here. Chris Young is available. Luis Mendoza is not really a starter because he's got low stamina. So we may just move on from Rocker, given that he's fragile. And yeah, so that might be what we do there. There are some other starting pitching options. Batters, Johnny Ciccoli is available. He's been with Milwaukee his whole career. And he's been quite good. 400 or 393. Oh, wait. Yeah, 393 home runs. Almost 50 wins. Hector Soriano. And he's not a... he's a good contact hitter. We'll see what he wants. Grisham is 38. He's wrecked. And there are a couple options here. Brendan Lockridge, again, not really a center fielder. All right. Well, let's get to arbitration, and let's figure out what we're going to do here. So Norman wants 4.8, so we'll offer him 4.6. Sullivan played the entire year in the minors this year. And there are the buzzes of my phone with people hitting me up about the game. Yep, that was quite the game. Quite the game. We're going to let Joe Sullivan walk. He was one of our first really successful Rule 5 guys. You can see he had 4 really good years for us. But we are going to let him go. Same thing with Christian. Peoples wants 850. He keeps getting hurt. But that's like a nothing contract, so that's fine. Same thing with Briones. I'll bring him back as the backup. And people are still dancing. Still dancing. Singing that dirty water. Neil wants $1 million. From 965. Drink some water. Yeah, Olney's there. I don't know that I want to bring him back, though. He played for us for a year. Where are we going? Played for us. Was it a year or 2 years? I think he only played for us for a year. Yeah, he played for us in 2033. And then we traded him to Texas midway through the season. But he's not particular. I mean, he's okay. He's a better bat than he is a pitcher. Like, I don't care that he won 16 games last year. He's a better bat than he is a pitcher. So he's an option. There are a couple of decent players here, and then we might get lucky with, he could play center field, right? Chris Talamantes, He can play center field. It's only a 48, but he's got the range to play center. I mean, he's durable. I mean, he might be an option. We'll get there. We will get there. We're going to... Does anybody want either of these players? If nobody wants either of these players, I'm just going to non-tender them both. All garbage. Like, I set myself up for it, with my trading set where it is, but, nobody wants them, and I don't want to trade them for, I don't want the players that they're offering me, because they're all bad. And, I could spend some time, I'm going to take these off, I don't need those on anymore. I could spend some time going through and, trying to maneuver the best possible deal. Ramirez, okay. Ish, bad defensively, which isn't going to help me. Nobody wants Newton either. So I think both of these guys are going to get non-tendered. Both Butler and Newton are going to get non-tendered, and they can go do whatever they want. And because I'm non-tendering both of them, I can bring back Zavorik, I think. So we want 7-1. And Neal we already offered. Freeland and Grant Newton will walk. Newton was another one who pitched a long time for us. 5+ years, 5.5 years with us. These guys will let go. Any of the minor league free agents we want to bring back? I don't think so. We're going to let pretty much let everybody else go. But because, when do we have to submit the protection list by? The day after free agency. So I want to make sure I do it prior to free agency, or prior to the salary arbitrations, that the players that I don't offer contracts to will be included as part of the expansion list, if that makes sense. Let's look at the expansion list. Players, so Aguilar, McElfresh, Powers, Denny, Dufault, Muniz, Real, Satterfield, Bowser, Frank, Jasic. It's like half the team. Or it's I'm going to be able to protect players that are no good. Not that I want to protect players that are no good, but I can. Escudiero. Brady Neal, because I need my catchers. Moncada will let go. Someone will probably take him. Zavorik. So we can protect 8 more. I'll just protect Jones. I feel like I should. Protect Cabrera. Protect Aparicio. Butler's gone, Freeland's gone, Miller is gone as well, right? So I'm not going to protect any of them. Newton's gone, we'll protect Peoples and Rodriguez. Seeley, Williams, and Briones, I guess. I think Ferguson's time is up, I think. Sparkman's no good. What do you think? Did I miss anybody? Did I miss anybody that I should have protected that I didn't? I think I got everyone. Yeah, we're down into the 2-star players that I don't care if they go away. And if this is my protection list, yeah. So we're not going to protect Rocker, not going to protect Butler, Freeland, Miller, Newton, Sanchez, because they're all gone. We're not going to re-sign any of them. No, I think that's good. I think that is good. I think that's our protection list. And just, yeah, you always, get nervous about it because you're afraid you're missing somebody. Like Angelo Papi. I no doubt he gets, Yes, we'll unprotect Kyle Williams, and we will protect Angelo Papi, I think. Anybody else here worth protecting? I don't believe so. And I don't know how far in the postseason we're going to get, or in the offseason we're going to get here tonight, guys. I'm starting to fade here a little bit. It's been a long day. I had a hockey game that I had to do this afternoon, but we'll keep going here for a bit. At least get up to free agency and see what the let's submit and see what the what it looks like. Any bounding fair ball is deflected by the fielder into the stands or over or under a fence on a fair or foul territory, in which case the batter and all runners should be entitled to advance 2 bases. Okay, well, there's the rule. There's the rule. Let's sim ahead. So again, I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with me tonight. If you're new to the stream, my name is Aaron. My name is Aaron. I've been streaming as part of the GM Games team for about 6 months now. I do have my own YouTube channel where I've got more of the same, and that's the link right there. I've got I'm sure most of you have, the ones who are here most weeks, and you've seen my stuff. But if you haven't, I've got other out of the park baseball stuff over there. I've got some Madden, and I do franchise hockey manager and stuff like that. So Zavorik signed, Norman signed, People signed. Platon Papathanasiou is somebody that was a stud, but unfortunately he is fragile, and he's another one of those pitchers that is going to have not a great career because of the injuries, but it is what it is. Let's keep going. I appreciate you guys. We've got a couple extra people in chat now that the baseball game's over. Welcome to off-season number 14 with the Colorado Rockies. We once again finished in first place, and once again we're knocked out by the wild card team. So here are your American League Gold Glove winners. A couple of still active. Alex Verdugo still going at age 38. For Tampa Bay. In the National League, Zavorik, as expected, wins the Gold Glove. AL Reliever of the Year, Jesus Ulloa. A .67 ERA for the 28-year-old. Chris Bloodsworth for the Phillies. In the National League, Gabe Satterfield finishes second. Platinum Stick or Silver Slugger, whatever you want to call it. In the American League, White Sox had a couple. In the National League, Aguilar at first, Hinojosa at third. No surprises there. Really no surprises anywhere here. Maybe Bart as a 37-year-old catcher winning the Silver Slugger. AL Rookie of the Year, Jonathan Drennan, 40 home runs. And in the National League, Josh Pearson, 272, 8 home runs, 31 RBIs. Real finishes fourth. Let's get up to the MVP. And Sim. So the Blue Jays beat the Cubs in this World Series. So no National League West team represented in the World Series for the first time in a while. Hey, Twins. How are you? You have a good excuse. What's your excuse? I want to know what your good excuse is. I'm curious. Were you out of the country? Were you, on some expedition up to the North Pole and you're a scientist and you were, drilling out ice cores and stuff? Or I'm curious what your excuse is. So we win. David Need is me, of course, wins the Manager of the Year. Oh, hell, that's awful, man. That is absolutely awful. Especially ending up in the hospital now where, every third person has got COVID. So, that sucks. I hope you're feeling better now, for sure. Absolutely. Glad you're with us. Glad you could stop in here. We just finished our 14th season where we lost in the National League Division Series against the wild card Washington Nationals because that's what happens in out-of-the-park baseball. National League Cy Young goes to Josh Thompson, 13-4. John Dodd finishes second with his 330 strikeouts. We don't have anybody in the top 10. So maybe we target an elite pitcher. I don't know if that's something that's out there, but we'll see. Markham wins the MVP for the Jacksonville Maulers. Yeah, that's a pretty good season. That is a pretty good season. And let's see, is it Dave Hinojosa? It is. Dave Hinojosa with his 9.1 WAR. At least 3 rooms were COVID peeps. Vindicator 4, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. GM Games appreciates it. They all have rooms that are anti-pressure that blows out air all the rooms outside. Good. Good. So that's awesome. So yeah, Dave Hinojosa wins the MVP, and I'm glad. Well, you didn't say if you're feeling better. I hope you're feeling better, Twins. I'm glad you're here with us tonight. That's awesome. It's good to see. Are you gonna? Because I know you were streaming and you said your streams were like in the middle of the night. I think I was able to catch one, and then I didn't see you on again, and maybe that's because you were sick. You're recovering. Well, that's good to hear. That is very, very good to hear. Excuse me. Hall of Fame voting. We are there. Let's take a look and see who is eligible for the Hall of Fame. Jose Altuve. And he's likely going to get in since he got 56% of the votes in his first season. Chris Bryant. Garrett Cole, no. Nelson Cruz, no. Jacob deGrom will vote for him. I don't think he's going to get in. He just doesn't have the counting numbers. Too many injuries. You looked it up. 200 cases. That's not a lot. 200,000 cases is, I guess I have no idea, in relative comparison to other illnesses, how common it is. But you got morphine. There you go. That will do it. I was on morphine once in my life when I got my wisdom teeth out. They gave me morphine because I'm terrified of the dentist because I'm a big baby. And they gave me morphine while they were taking my wisdom teeth out. And that made it all worth it. So, yeah. Well, I'm glad you're recovering. I'm glad you're starting to feel better. And again, I'm glad you're here. So, there's not a whole lot here. We're going to vote for Sale because it's Sale, but he only got 7% of the vote. I don't know. Joey Votto will continue to vote for him. This is a very underwhelming Hall of Fame class. We'll throw King Felix a vote, too. That's very underwhelming. Yeah, not great. All right, well, we'll submit the ballot there. And we're getting close to free agency. Those of you who have just hopped in, thanks for joining us here. We just finished, and we'll take a look here. We'll take a look at the standings and the playoffs and the playoff tree. So we finished with 105 wins, best record in the National League. We took on the wild card Nationals, who won 100 games, and of course, they beat us. They beat us 1-0 in Game 5 in Colorado on a 9th inning home run by Kyle Tucker. They went on to take the Cubs to 7. The Cubs won in the National League, Blue Jays in the AL, and the Blue Jays beat the Cubs 4-3 in the Game 7 of the World Series. So yeah, we finished 105-57. Another good year for us. We'll look at our team history real quick before we look at free agents and whatnot. So you can see that is our 6th 100-win season in the last 9 years. It's our 9th straight playoff appearance, 10 in the last 11, and we've won 3 world championships. So money, we have $56 million to spend, and I am going to spend it. We are first going to bump our ticket prices up another $1.25. And what do we need? We need starting pitching. I think that goes without saying. We have a lot of depth in our starting pitching. We've got 6 pitchers who I could throw out there, but other than Denny, we don't really have a workhorse. Real could be that guy, but his stamina's kind of low. McElfresh is a rookie. He could be that guy, but he's just a rookie. Shaw could be pretty good. He put up a good year a couple years ago, but there's a lot of could-haves and maybes. Bill Dozer, you're a Mariners fan, and you want King Felix to make the Hall of Fame. His case is interesting. His period of time of being a dominant pitcher could be a little bit... here's my take on starting pitching these days making the Hall of Fame. I think you almost have to, especially for starting pitching, you have to almost completely throw their statistics out the window, and really truly go off of your feel. Like if Jacob deGrom retires tomorrow, an argument could be made that he should be a Hall of Famer. You know, there are so many pitchers that get Tommy John surgery this year that these days that miss a year. There are so many pitchers that end up with 9 or 10 wins a year that had a great season. So I don't know. I mean, I think you almost have to throw their stats out the window because, you know, pitcher stats, they aren't pitching that as much, nearly as much as they used to. You know, to get to 200 wins or even 150 wins now is going to be really, really rare. Right now, the diet is pain. Oh, the diet is the pain. Pretty much See, I would love that diet. Eggs, bacon, sausage, and waffles. Absolutely. Sign me up. Anything 50 or stamina can make it. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I certainly don't want to say that someone like, you know, Real, because his stamina is a 54, doesn't mean he's not going to be elite. But, you know, I don't want to rely on him as a 23-year-old. I'd rather have Denny, McElfresh, Real, Shaw, and then another, you know, maybe a number 2 starter to slot in behind Denny, and then everybody else just sort of slides down one. And Norman, maybe we try to move. Let's see if we can try to move him now that we are into free agency. Starting pitcher stats now can't be compared even to 20. No, they can't even be compared to 10 years ago. You know, now that so many teams are going with an opener or, you know, or something like that. Like, you look at the way Alex Cora manages his starters in the postseason. Like, Evaldi went 5 innings in this game, and he threw like 70 pitches. Like, it's ridiculous, you know. I mean, and he gave up 2 runs in 5 innings. That's an ERA of over 3.5, but he pitched a damn good game. Anybody here worth trading him for? No, of course not. All relievers. Let's just look. So Pivetta went 4, 7 strikeouts. Wow, he's been good. He's been good. Ruben Rodriguez. We need a center fielder. We need a center fielder to back up when Drew Jones retires, which is coming up. I mean, I don't think this is a great deal, but I don't think it's a terrible one. Let's see if there's anything else. No, it's all relievers. So many relievers, man. What do you guys think? I mean, do you think that... I mean, Norman is making $4.5 million. He won 15 games last year. He's good for 2.5 to 3 WAR. He's likely not to be a starter for us this year. And in return, we can get a 23-year-old. That's not the right one. It's not the guy I was looking at. Where is he? Right here. Not a great hitter. And looks like he could be an average hitter, but very good with the glove. The rating, you assume, will improve with more experience. A ton of speed. That's true. Felix's career started with a short start movement. He also has a perfect game. You know what? And Bill Dozer, that happens a lot, right? When pitchers throw a perfect game or a no-hitter because they tend to overextend themselves, right? You would make that... His range is kind of light. Yeah, with the 62, yeah, he could be our starting right fielder. Those pitchers, they overexert themselves in those games, right? Sometimes they throw 120, 130, 140 pitches. They come back in their next game and they just get blown up. So ignoring for a second that he might not be a great center fielder, you know, these are the kinds of players I like. I mean, his bat's good enough for Coors. He's got, and he'd be a very, very good right fielder. We could train him up in left and right, and at worst, he could be our backup 4th outfielder going forward. You bet his overall would improve in right field once he's trained. Yeah, I mean, I could start him in left and right in spring training, and all of a sudden he becomes our backup outfielder. He doesn't really have any splits to speak of, which means he can play both against both lefties or righties. I think I'm going to do it. Let's see if Miami will give us anything else. It's unlikely. it's just all relievers. All relievers. Not happening. Yeah, they're not going to give me anything else. I mean, I'll keep looking, but they're not going to give me anything else of any real value. Like, I would love someone like that. Yeah, it's a joke. He sucked in AA, though, in AA. Yeah, he wasn't very good in AA. I mean, that's a solid point. He was bad in the outfield. You know, you're right. That low range, that zone rating's pretty terrible. I mean, I don't really need Norman at this point, though. He's at best our sixth starter. His movement is dropping, and he's a fly ball pitcher in cores. I mean, that seems... Find good movement relievers. It seems like a recipe for disaster. So let's see if they have any high movement relievers. Billy Sheridan. He was drafted, maybe. Maybe you give me Billy Sheridan. You don't think so? Gerlin Hogel. Gerlin Hogel. He was drafted last year, so I won't be able to trade for him. Phil Watts. Tack on a bit more, and they want Aguilar. That's just a bit more. Just a bit. Just a bit more. Who was that? Was it Flores or was it Sheridan? No, it was Sheridan where they wanted that 2-star pitcher. I don't want to trade Busage. He was our number 1 pick a year ago, and he's coming along nicely. But this other guy, 20-year-old... Again, he was the type I drafted because he had 3 good pitches. Oof, OSA loves him. I don't think I want to move him. He's 20. He's got the high adaptability, high work ethic, high intelligence. He's a decent bat. Yeah, I'm not going to trade him as part of that. But I will give you Escudiero. Okay. So that's where we are with this. So I'm going to have to add something I don't want to add in order to get Billy Sheridan. And I don't necessarily need another bullpen arm right now. Sounds like a goblin. Bat looks neat on that pitcher. Yeah, on Gerlin. I like the name, Gerlin Hogel. I did somebody commented on one of my videos that I did last week, not for this playthrough, but on my channel. There was somebody, I'm going to have to go back and look, but the guy's name was like Claudio Lamborghini or something like that. It was just a classic name, and I didn't see it. Had I seen it, I probably would have drafted him just for his name, but... McCone. You want Lemon? No, you don't want Lemon. Oh, it's because I'm looking at... Let's look at prospects. Hurst is close. Hurst is very close. Man, that bat is going to be nuts. He'll probably start in AAA next year. He's really close. Fox. Kirby is another power hitter. Okay, there we go. I'd give up Rodriguez. No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. I'm so wishy-washy. I overvalue my prospects, man. I love my prospects. I don't want to give up Fox. He's that pitcher slash batter. Darius Black, you want a first baseman? Nope. Valley Rat, how are you? How you doing tonight? Chris Campbell, maybe him. I'm thinking I'm just gonna say okay to this. Tim Gallagher, I can't because I just drafted him. What about Rob Gregorich? He's pretty developed for you. No. Moncada. Yeah, Moncada's a bit of a bummer. His ratings really dropped. He was quite good for a while. Angelino Papi. Now this guy, Ramon Lopez, I'd give up. So let's see. Now we're going to do the out of the park thing where you add the player they want and then you remove the player you don't want to give up and see what options are there. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this is how you do trading in out-of-the-park baseball, right? You add in the player that they want, you take out the player you don't want, and then you can get them to usually add another player. And I am fine with either of those players. So Esteban Ortiz works for me. So we'll give up Kevin Norman and 2 bad minor league pitchers. And we will get Ruben Rodriguez and Billy Sheridan coming back the other way. It's hard to give up on somebody you built up. Yeah, right, it is. I mean, it's prospect love. It's no different than, real Major League Baseball. Like, I look at someone like Jeter Downs, and I want him to be... shoot. I think I'm going to have to make this trade after the expansion draft. Yeah, I'm going to have to make the trade after the expansion draft because I already submitted my... my AI or my expansion list, and I don't want to change it because I don't want to have to add 2 players and take somebody else off. So I know this trade's here. We'll get up to the expansion draft and then I'll make it. Yeah, it's absolutely hard to give up on somebody that you built up. They're yours, and you always feel like they're going to be superstars even when they're not, and eventually they flame out. So we'll pull that trigger after the expansion draft. So the Memphis Swashbucklers and the Nashville Sky Chiefs. So who's out here? I just want to see if there are any neat players on this list. Of course, it's all relievers. That's because I'm looking at all relievers. There's not a single good bat on this list. Oh, Steve Pulver. Jose Sandoval, he's got a decent bat. Well, there are a couple good players in here, but nothing that really gets me too excited. So let's go ahead and complete the draft. Some GMs in Major League Baseball trade players like people trade. Well, I think if you're running a real team, you need to separate yourself from that. You can't hoard prospects. It's not, you just can't do that. Initiate trade. All right, so the trade's still here. Rodriguez and Billy Sheridan for Norman, Lopez, and Ortiz. So we will pull the trigger there. I mean, you have to be able to look at them as where did they put him? Right there. You have to be able to look at these players as assets rather than as people. You can have a killer team that gets to 100. Well, right. I mean, that's right. I want to win 105 games and then lose in the NLDS. Of course, right. That's exactly what I want because OOTP is dumb. Actually, it's not dumb. How many hours have I put into it? I have put into Out of the Park 22. I've put just under 2,000 into it. Out of the Park 21, I put 1,967 hours. Out of the Park 20, I put just under 1,900 hours. Out of the Park 19, I put in 2,100 hours. And Out of the Park Baseball, I put in just under 2,100 hours. So I've played 10,000 hours of Out of the Park Baseball over the last 5 years. So, yeah, but remember, it also counts it when you leave the game running. So if you leave it running overnight, it counts it as playing. But yes, I put in about 2,000 hours a year in Out of the Park Baseball. But it's easy to do that working from home because I work and I play the game while I'm working. So if I put in a 12-hour day, I may have the game on for 12 hours. I may not be playing it for 12 hours, but it's on for 12 hours. So I've put in at least 1,900 hours of every Out of the Park Baseball since I got Steam, and I'm able to track that. Oh, I know, man. It's a lot. It's a lot, but what am I going to do? I'm a 45-year-old father of 4. What do? I work as a... it's the easiest way to explain this. I'm a district manager for a third-party labor company. So, leave it running overnight. Yeah. No, I don't, man, I can't stay up late. I can't focus when I'm up late. So I'm a district manager for a third-party labor company. So we send people into stores like Best Buy and Target and Walmart, and they build displays. And my job is to make sure that I have employees in these buildings to build these displays when they show up. And I do it from right here. So, most of the time it's emails and phone calls. So it gives me the opportunity to do some stuff that I like during the day. So, but that's also after 25 years of working retail, which was just awful. You made a trade in the what is EMLB? What am I missing? I'm trading for some aging players, for some nice prospects that are about a year out, and a catcher that might end up being a Primero starter in about a year. Oh, online league. Okay, all right. I didn't know that's what it was referred to as. Speaking of online leagues, so I joined 2 online leagues this year for the first time ever, and I'm in 2. One of them, they're in like their 37th season, and I took over the Orioles, and I gutted the team, and I lost like 110 games in the first year. But the other one, I was the A's, and we started, in 2021, and I won the World Series. I won the World Series in my first year as the Oakland A's. I beat the Dodgers, of course, in 7 games. So go me. You traded away Framber Valdez and Ian Happ and picked up 3 pitching prospects. What team are you playing as? Yes, multitasking is an important skill in the modern world, and I have learned how to both record content for YouTube and get all of my work done within a reasonable amount of time. You're the Cubs. Okay. I think we've talked about that, yeah. But yes, no, you're absolutely right, Bill, that multitasking is an important skill. And Expos, yeah, I like tonight when I'm done with this, I'll probably, because I think they've downloaded the most recent, because we do our online league is in the off season, so they're doing everyday uploads in the off season, and it looks like. Nice. I signed Justin Verlander and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa in the. Those were the 2 guys I was waiting on. Those were the last 2 deals that I was looking for. So, excellent. Sorry, I had to pull that up and see if I got the. You worry how to trade with humans. You know what? The worst part about the online leagues that I'm seeing, honestly, the worst part is that people get really defensive if you tell them you don't think they made a good trade or a good deal or something like that. People get super defensive about their fake baseball simulation stuff. That's really been the only issue that I've seen. But I have a blast with it. It's actually a whole lot of fun to go back and forth with somebody, digging through their minor league systems and going, well, I don't like this guy who's rated 40, but I love this guy who's rated 45, so, it's a lot of fun. The back and forth is actually a lot of fun. The only thing that's not fun is when people get super defensive. But, so I signed Justin Verlander. Coming off the World Series, I signed my last 2 free agents were Isaiah Kiner-Falefa and Justin Verlander. So that's all I'm done. That's all I needed to do for the offseason. So my offseason is set. My team is ready to go. Now let's look at this team. We haven't looked at free agency. Baseball fans getting defensive. It's not just baseball fans. It's people on the internet getting defensive. It's, like someone, I don't want to, I'm not going to call anybody out, but, because I don't know if anybody in here that's in any of my online leagues, and I don't want to piss them off. But, yeah, you get a lot of people who just, if somebody says you gave up way too much for that player or, it's a terrible free agent signing or something like that, and they get really, really bent out of shape about it, and I don't get it, but it's got nothing to do with me. Oh, you know what we didn't look at? We didn't look at the international signings or international free agents. Anybody here? Angel Puak? No. Well, he's not bad, but I don't like all of this stuff here. Nope. Nobody. All right. So the expansion draft is done. Nobody here. So let's look at free agency. You tried trading once and it didn't go well. I mean, there are some people that are, you said you're awkward. There are some people that are not awkward, but just difficult. Well, that's online league. That's the online league, Valley Rat. It's just, it's what it is. It's a fantasy league, and you're playing with out of the park baseball, and I've had a lot of fun with it so far. You ended up getting someone named Daniel Richardson, who is a 46 of 60, 23-year-old, and a 20-year-old for France. Yeah, I mean, obviously it depends on their ratings and stuff, but, the young starting pitchers are such a crapshoot. They can either turn out to be absolute rock stars or they can turn out to be, bums, depending on their ratings and injuries and things of that nature. Did I miss anything? Yeah, Expos fan, you know what I mean. It's just people in general don't like being told that they made a mistake, in online or for something dumb like this, or in real life. People just don't like being told they did something wrong. So what do we need? Our starting lineup is basically set. So we've got Jasic, Powers, and Jones, and I said we need a solid fourth outfielder for when Powers inevitably gets hurt, and I think Rodriguez is that person. Our infield is set. I think we'll keep Rodriguez up this year. He'll back up at second and short. We could be lacking offense off the bench if we move on from Cabrera. I'm curious what Cabrera could get us. You meant you like the idea of a few guys getting together every week and live trading everyone once a week in the same room. You made the mistake. Yeah, you just keep it to yourself, man. That's the best advice I can give you. Keep that shit to yourself. If you think somebody made a bad deal, talk to somebody else about it through instant message or something, but keep that to yourself. Valley-Rat, I did something really interesting with actually somebody I met on Twitch. There was a guy who streamed. I love the Civilization games. That's something I play. Like when I'm done streaming here, I'll probably load up a game of Civ 6. But I was watching a guy who was, at the time he was streaming Civ 5, and we got to talking, and he was a big baseball fan too. And he got me into this fantasy thing, and it was really, really interesting because you would draft based on the last name. So you could only draft somebody, like one player on your team with the last name of R, or the last letter of Y, or the letter of Y, or whatever, just A through Z. And there was, you would pick their best season. So you would say, like, I want, Babe Ruth, the 1927 Babe Ruth. So you would plug Babe Ruth's 1927 stats into this spreadsheet, and he is your player with the last name of R, and then you would have to pick the rest of your roster. And then you would just go through the draft, and then whoever, had the best counting stats at the end would end up winning. And it was an interesting way to do like a fantasy draft, because you would have to look at some players, and then there were players that you would look at that you wouldn't even consider because like they played in the 1800s, but maybe you need to add innings pitched, and you don't have somebody on your team who starts with whose name starts with the last name of S. So you find a pitcher from the 1800s who put up like 600 innings one year, and that's your pitcher whose name starts with S, and it adds it was a lot of fun. It was really hard, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to do it. I was terrible at it because these guys had been doing it for years, but it was a lot of fun to try it. So what are we even looking for? I mean, what am I even looking for here if I'm trading Cabrera? Am I looking for a starting pitcher? Am I looking for a new outfielder? I mean, what am I don't even know what I'm looking for. I just kind of offered him up in a deal to see what I would get. And the returns so far aren't knocking my socks off here. So here was the trade. A starting pitcher at a 55 out of 60 slider, 65 changeup, 80, and knuckleball. Knuckleball. I'm all in. Once you get me to 85 knuckleball, I'm all in, man. Yeah, and then a 60 stuff, 65 movement, and the control's passable. Even if the control never develops and he ends up as a 70-70-40 guy with 4+ pitches, that's a good guy. That's a good pitcher. That is a good pitcher. You guys have got me energized. We're talking about fun stuff now, and now I have more energy than I did like 20 minutes ago. Yeah, Valley-Rat, it was a lot of fun. It was really hard, and like I said, I wasn't particularly good at it, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm looking for. Starting pitcher maybe, but I mean, they're all 3 stars, and we've got so much money that we can just throw money at one of the starting pitchers. Jake Gentile, he's not bad. Oh, there we go. There we go. There's the answer. There is our answer right there. He was a minor leaguer. That's a solid trade for a minor leaguer, and that's our deal right there. That's our new starting shortstop, a 25-year-old who hit 38 home runs a year ago, put up 5.5 WAR and an 18.2 zone rating. Yep, that's our deal. Thank you, Toronto. You would think long and hard about making this. I wouldn't. So if your assistant GM hates it, then it's a good deal. They were also trading a pitcher. Who was it? I mean, if they think it's such a good deal, will they give me the other pitcher that they were looking to trade? Was it Gentile? He's make 3 years at 12, 16, and 16. I think I just pulled the trigger on. I feel like I'm overthinking this, right? I'm overthinking this, right, guys? Like, I'm overthinking this. Like, this trade absolutely 100% makes sense, right? Steve Ellis for Josh Cabrera. I mean, it absolutely makes sense, right? The knuckleballer's only 21. Well, there you go. I mean, again, even if the control doesn't develop on him and it ends up at a 40, then yeah, he's still a really, really good pitcher. But if he ends up 70, 55 with a who's playing shortstop right now? Bowser. We could... See, what could we do here? Because Bowser technically is a third baseman. We could... I don't want to move Bowser to third because we've got Hinojosa there. I would like to leave maybe we move Bowser to second. Bowser could play second with those ratings. Maybe we move Bowser to second. We leave Hinojosa at third. Zvorek becomes our backup all over the infield, and we bring in a power hitting shortstop who is better defensively than anybody else we have. This guy's unbelievable. He's got base running ability. Yeah, we're gonna do it. I'm overthinking it. We're going to complete that deal right now. Yeah, fan interest is amazing. Well, duh, he hit almost 40 home runs last year. So now our lineup looks something like this. He's a lefty, so we do something like that. We got a lot of lefties in our lineup. Make him our second baseman. Yeah. I mean, I guess I should have looked at his splits, but... yeah, he doesn't even really have any splits. He's a good hitter against lefties, too. I mean, that felt like a no-brainer trade. Bowser is a first baseman in the Mario baseball game. Well, Bowser is, he's Bowser. Everybody knows who Bowser is. I think what I would love to do is find the right-handed hitting version of Jasic. Because if we could switch Jasic out for a right-handed hitter who can put up that type of line, now our lineup is super well-balanced. All right, so we still have $50 million. $61 million in free agents. So maybe a right-handed hitting starting outfielder and then a starting pitcher. That's kind of what we're going after here. And I think I want to make a splash this year with all this money. Can he play outfield? Who, the shortstop, Ellis? Yeah, he could. Yeah, he is, I could start him anywhere. Look at this. I could start this guy anywhere. I have no idea why Toronto wants to give him up. He's durable. Low leader, low loyalty, low greed. I don't care about any of that. Make him a back. I could make him the backup outfielder too, and then Rodriguez could just be the number 5 guy, or we could replace him. So I think I want to make a splash. And there was one pitcher that I saw who's asking for like $36 million. Ooh. Okay. So, we got Josh Goldberg, coming from the Red Sox, coming off a 6-win season. He's durable. He wants $36 million. He's a captain. He's 31. Wants an 8-year deal. Okay, so I'm not comfortable giving him an 8-year deal. The alternative, which I like, is Chris Young. He's fragile, but he wants almost no money at all. He'll play 162 games if he's durable. Yeah, you're probably right. So Chris Young, the ratings suggest he is fantastic. 96 to 98, 100 stamina. This is a bit worrisome. The strikeouts, given what his stuff is, that's a little worrisome. I'm really, thinking to myself that we just make a run at Goldberg and just say screw the rest of the league and just go nuts. 'Cause, I mean, we would still have, $25 to $30 million after we sign Goldberg. So let's see. I'm not giving him 8 years. Will he take 5? Is that 3? That's $375 million. I don't want to give him 375. No, that was... Yeah, no, that was right. So is it the years or the dollar amount? Okay, so the dollar amount. I would be okay with 6 years. It's quite amazing how much adjusting pitcher sliders change how much your pitchers play. You mean like quick hooks and things like that? Is that what you're talking about, Twins? Let's try that. 35, 37, 38, 38, 37, 35. Okay. That's an absolute metric crap ton of money that will take him till he's 37, but he's durable, and he's an absolute stud. Oh, does he want a no-trade clause? Ooh. I didn't even see that. It's sneaky. Out of the park baseball. Sneaky. They worked that in here this year. Pitchers want more and more. Let's see. Okay, he'll take it without the no-trade clause. Thank you, Expos. I appreciate that. You being my second set of eyes. I'm okay with the money, especially given like Drew Jones is going to come off the books next year. So let's make that 6 years, $224 million for Josh Goldberg. Let's see how that goes. 57 stamina. He's a captain. Okay. All right, let's see how that goes. And then, yeah, so because we don't have a ton of money for next season now, but we'll worry about next season. Muniz is coming off the books. We can clear Zvorek and his $10 million. Jasic is making $4. We will get younger next season because we'll have Hurst up. So Hurst will replace Jasic next year. So we will be able to shave some of this money next year and free up some. Valley Rat, thank you for the follow, my man. I appreciate it. You got burned a few times already. Yeah, and you know what? It's one of the things we noticed in the online league was that a lot of people were submitting deals without realizing that they were asking for no trade clauses. So it just, you don't realize it because it just was never there. All right, so now, what else do we want to do? I want to leave some money in case he comes back to us and says, so-and-so offered me more money. But Fernando Tatis is a free agent. He's wrecked. What's his career looked like? 35 years old, 400 home runs, coming up just shy of 2,000. Let me ask you guys a question. So, Fernando Tatis is what he is right now at age 22. He's just an absolute stud. If Tatis ends up with numbers like this, do you consider his career a disappointment? What are your thoughts? Do you think that just shy of 2,000 hits, just over 400 home runs, 95 WAR player over the course of his career, almost 300 steals, an 884 OPS, a 148 OPS plus, is this a disappointment if this is what Tatis's career ends up looking like? Let me know what you think. I don't think, it doesn't look like there's a batter here that I really want to spend a ton of money on. Lito only wants 3.8, but he's also fragile and a lefty. I wouldn't have minded bringing Luke Lito back as a casual, probably. Why? Because he didn't hit like 500 home runs or 3,000 hits or something. Yeah, I mean that's a good point. You know, the casual fan would look at it and say, you know, meh, he was all right. The hits are low, the other numbers would be good. Yeah, you would think if he played that long and hit that many home runs, he would have hit more than 19 home runs. You're a casual, you meant? Why are you a casual? Yeah, I don't really see any bats here that... Let's see. Not that I necessarily want to trade him, but let's see what's available. Let's see if there is the right-handed version of him out there. No, he's better defensively, but can't hit as well. That shortstop's a stud. I am stoked about that. Let's do it this way. Hitters. Left field. Let's just do 51 across the board. Include minor leaguers, and let's search. You love baseball, you coach and develop players, but you don't know anything about the Major League Baseball. How can you call yourself awkward if you are, like, coaching people? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, you can't be, like, all that awkward if you have to, like, effectively teach people how to do something. Right? Daryl Savchuk. I don't think they would give him to me, but... 36-year-old Ronald Acuna. He's a lefty. Lefty. It's a weird thing. No, man, I get it. Like, naturally, I had some friends over last night and we were talking about this. Naturally, I'm an introvert. I tend to keep to myself, and when I'm not working, I like to just sit in my basement and watch TV and play video games and, hang out with my kids. But I talk for a living. I spend all day, little different 9, appreciate the follow, thank you. I spend all day on the phone talking to my employees in different states and talking to stores and things like that. And then I call sporting events. Like, you don't have confidence. Okay, that makes sense. But I hear you, man. Like, different parts of your life bring out different parts of who you are. Like, I have no problem calling a game knowing that there's, 300, 400, 500, 1,000 people listening to me. No problem at all. But if you get me in, like, a social situation, I'm really, really quiet. Like, I don't like being around large numbers of people because it makes me really uncomfortable. But you get me on a mic, you get me in front of a mic like this, or if I'm calling a game or something, no problem with it. No problem at all. Like Roof. Is it just me, or does Out of the Park Baseball still have an aversion to right-handed hitters? There are always so many more lefties than there are righties in Out of the Park Baseball. Always. I don't know why that is. Maybe that's real life. Maybe that's the way it is in real life, and I just never realized it, but... Oof. Oscar Riley, Jonathan Gomes. Yeah, they're all lefties, like every one of them. I can talk with players and whatnot in a high school setting and do well, but you don't know anything about the MLB modern game. That's fair, we're all sort of stuck in... whatever year we consider to be the best. For me, I loved my mid-'80s Red Sox, Dwight Evans and Jim Rice and Buckner and Boggs. And, that to me was, that was baseball for me. Once you got into the mid 90s and it all started being about home runs, I don't want to say I lost interest because I just spent 4 hours watching the Red Sox, but I prefer baseball the way it was played in the 70s and 80s versus the way I do now. We're all that's the way we are. You can set pitchers either off team strat or just override and set by pitcher. Both work well, but it changes how pitch around works. If you override the team strat, then a 50 movement pitcher, you would not adjust the pitch around, leave it at 50. If a pitcher has 75 control, then bump up the pitch around for that pitcher from 50 to 70 or 80, then watch his walks per game and adjust up or down depending on if walks become a problem. That is some severe micromanaging, Twins, that I don't know that I could do. That's crazy. That's crazy stuff. So I'm looking for a right-handed hitting bat is what I'm looking for, and all I can find are lefties. Lefties don't do it for me. Lefty, 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 lefty. Eric Jasik's a lefty. Alisea, he's making $25 million. What about Savchuk? Is there anything? Nothing? What if we started with Jasik? Bobby Kirby. So bullpen arm. So I can give you default, and you'll make this deal. He's fragile. You get sure. So we'll do this, and then we'll pull Kirby out. I'm going to screw around with this, because if I can make this work, so we'll add Davey, remove Dufault. So Dufault's the only pitcher that makes this work. Really? The only pitcher that makes that work? And he's a 27-year-old fragile pitcher. I mean, am I really going to hold up this deal over a pitcher who's put up less than 1 WAR in 2 seasons? This guy's not very good defensively, but neither is Jasik. We could stick him in left and he'd be fine, I think. You do a lot of micromanaging. You can filter. Oh, that's right. You can, can't you? Well, I think I found the person I wanted. It's turned into an Excel. There's actually somebody I watch on YouTube. If you like Excel stuff, his name is GBN. Let me find him here. Hang on a second. I'm gonna give him a shout out. He's a German dude. And he is right now doing a Let's Play with the Giants. And he does Excel stuff like on stream, and I love it. Yeah, he's doing San Francisco. He's got a really small following. He's got like 120 subscribers, but his videos for me are like must watch. Like as soon as his video comes out, I'm the first person that watches it. So if you like that sort of in-depth in Twins, you would probably love it. Because he did, like, his last episode, he didn't play a single game. It was like 30 minutes of just going through, like, his minor league systems and statistics and stuff. I love it. I absolutely love it. How much time does he have? I mean, he only spent this 1 year in the majors, so 169 days. So we got him at the minimum for at least a couple of years. And I feel like giving up Aparicio. Jasik is going to start to get expensive next year. Jasik is a better fielder. I mean, hands down, he's a better fielder. I don't know. Because Savchuk is really not good defensively, so I'm having second thoughts now. But I need that right-handed bat. That will really even my lineup out. Let's let's go back here, and what am I looking at? Where is right here? So let's do right. Let's knock the contact down some, and let's knock up the eye and the power. Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine that I'm going to get anywhere close to this guy, but we'll see. Oh, okay. Okay. Cincinnati can't afford it. We'll pay his salary this year. Okay. Jasic is a fan favorite, but Savchuk's bat is good too. So is this guy. 27 years old. He's going to start to cost some more money down the road. He's going to be ARB eligible next season, but he hit 40 home runs last year. Is a very good defensive left fielder. He's got good range, good arm. He's a fan favorite. He's going to hit for a ton of power. He's a righty. I feel better about making a move for this guy versus the other one because he's better defensively. What do you guys think? Which trade? I'm gonna make one of them. I'm going to make. So far, those are the two deals that I've looked at. Those are the two that I like. Which one would you do if you were doing those two? Because that's really it. Yeah. So it's gonna be O'Meara or Savchuk. I'll let you guys decide. I'm leaning towards O'Meara, but you guys tell me. Savchuk. Compare the two players. So here we go. So Savchuk, better contact, better avoid K. O'Meara, better gap, better home run, better eye. Much better against lefties for O'Meara. Defensively, or base running wise, O'Meara is better. Defensively, O'Meara is slightly better. But Savchuk is going to be cheaper longer. All right, Bill. Thanks. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for stopping in tonight. Savchuk is going to be cheap for a long, long time. I'm so like that right there really just excites me. You know what I mean? The 83 power, the 67 eye, the 65 gap power. What is his what am I doing? I'm going here. I mean, his ARB number next season is only 1.5. Default. What if we... Yeah. So Sawchuk for Jasic, Davey, and Aparicio. Savchuk is probably the more consistent hitter. He's not as good defensively. He's probably he's gonna hit for obviously a hit for a higher average. Not probably gonna hit for as much power. His defense is just concerning in left. That range is concerning me. O'Meara, on the other hand, better range. The error's a little bit worse. May not be an elite defensive. Yeah, I think you're right. I think think that's what we're gonna do. I think we're gonna send him. I think we're gonna send Jasic, Davey, and not Aparicio, and Default to the Red Sox for Daryl Savchuk. You're gonna head to bed. All right, Valley Rat. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate it. I think we're gonna pull the trade here, and then I'm gonna sim ahead and see if we get that pitcher, and then we're gonna call it an episode. I think I could sit here and do this for another 3 hours, but I have to work tomorrow. So, complete the deal. So they don't like the fact that we gave up Eric Jasic. Not a surprise. Don't like the fact that we gave up Dufault. They're fairly happy that we picked up Savchuk, but our loyalty is still good. Our fan interest is still 100, so I'm not too terribly concerned about that. So now our lineup has a lot more left, right in it, and I like that. I'm fine with Savchuk and Jones batting righty down there at the bottom, so that's good. So now we have Zavorik as our backup middle infielder. We have... Where did Gabe Briones go? Where did my backup catcher go? What the hell? Did I forget to save him? Oh, he's a free agent. How did I not see that? All right, well, we need to bring him back. Let's offer him $1 million. So we'll bring Briones back. He will be our backup catcher. In the outfield, we will go with Rodriguez. At least, actually, you know what? I think you're right. I think you made the point, somebody made the point earlier that we play Ellis in the outfield as well. And we'll do that too. But I'm just trying to get a feel for where we stand. And then, I don't know, Ferguson is a backup first baseman? Sure. Cool. All right. So we're going to sim ahead and... Yeah, Canadian Thanksgiving. So, Chris, the guy who runs GM Games, he's from north of the border as well. And he, because of the Twitch hack, and I guess they reset everybody's stream keys. So I had to bother Chris while he was prepping for his Canadian Thanksgiving to reset my stream key so I could start the stream tonight. So let's go ahead and sim forward and see if we can land that starting pitcher. So we lost Matthew Newton. That's fine. Where did he sign? Just out of curiosity. He signed in Korea. Okay. Signed in Korea. Feels like he could have gotten a major league deal, but if he wants to go to Korea, he can go to Korea. Goldberg is happy with our deal so far. Keep our fingers crossed that we can land him. You got a silent link to make sure things are... Oh, okay, so you're keeping an eye on things? Yeah, things look good. Hey, and we signed Josh Goldberg. So we give up a third-round pick. That is fine. We have our new ace. He's 31. He's signed to a 6-year, $224 million contract. Everybody loves him. Respected throughout the league. He's a captain, high leader, high work ethic, high intelligence. Now, obviously, the key is do his ratings maintain? As long as his ratings maintain, we will be fine. So we move Goldberg in there. He's going to be our number 2 because Denny is our ace. Jim Denny is the Colorado Rockies, so he'll get the opening day start. Goldberg will start the second game. Nice. All right, so we have $24 million left this year, 8.8 for next year. Let's take a quick look and see if there's anything else we want to do. You were emailing out of the Park Baseball asking about the drop setup. Want to make sure everyone is gravy. Thanksgiving pun. Very nice, my man. It's been a fun stream tonight, Chris. It's I don't think we've had too many more in terms of numbers. I don't think we've had too many more people in here that have normally been in here. We've certainly had some new people, and that's been really cool. You know, to have some new people to talk to. You get tired of talking to a random task, you know, every night for 4 hours, so it's nice to get some other people. The next Thanksgiving American version, you're in Vegas. Oh, nice. Very nice. That'll be fun. Is there anything else we want to do? I mean, we got money. We've got money. I don't want to spend it just to spend it in case there's an option during the season that we want to make a run at. Yeah, I don't really think there's a pitcher here that I'm all that fussed about. I get attacked by a bug. Yeah, I think we're good. I think that's going to do it, guys. I think I'm going to call it a stream here. We're at about 2 hours and 40 minutes or so. We've I think we've made, not that we needed to improve our offense for the Rockies. We finished first every single year. But we added a 38 home run bat shortstop to our lineup who is going to win the Gold Glove at shortstop. Would likely win the Gold Glove anywhere we put him. We pick up a right-handed bat to even out our lineup a little bit, and we pick up Josh Goldberg to anchor our rotation along with Jim Denny. They're both signed long-term. So, yeah, Denny and Goldberg will be with us probably through the end of the Colorado Rockies playthrough. So, yeah, cool. So that's going to do it, guys. Next video will be out on Wednesday. That'll be the rest of the off season. I'll probably play opening day. I know you do franchise hockey manager and college basketball. Are you going to stream any? I don't know if I'm going to stream any. I'll probably do another Let's Play once the new version comes out. Out of the Park is sort of my thing for GM games, although Chris, like I said earlier, Chris is cool with me doing, pretty much whatever I want. So once FHM 8 comes out, I'll probably stream that. But I will likely do some Draft Day Sports. This channel is obsessed with, yeah, I know. I mean, I could. I'm not very good at it, but I could. I absolutely could. All right, Expos fan, have a good night, man. Appreciate you coming by. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, I could. I'm not against it. I find the game to be a lot of fun. I'm just not particularly good at it. Like, I consider myself good at out-of-the-park baseball. I'm not particularly good at the Draft Day Sports games, but I absolutely would give it a whirl. Yeah, like I said, probably on my own YouTube channel, but Kodiak, you follow that, so you'll see it when it comes up. But when the new version comes out, I probably will, and I'll probably give college football a try as well. I haven't done college football yet. I'll probably give that one a try. But my next Out of the Park video for GM Games will be Wednesday. Tomorrow I'm going to get a new Madden video out. Well, that'll be out Tuesday. I'm going to record it tomorrow. It'll be out Tuesday. We got GM Games on Wednesday. Thursday is the expansion Blazers. Friday will be the continuation of the series with the Kansas City Royals. So that's my week. So I appreciate you guys hanging out. Kodiak, thanks. You were here for the majority of the night. I hope you're able to get your save resolved, man, even if you have to go through and replay it. I hope it works out for you. But again, thanks for coming. Thanks for hanging out. And I'll see everybody next Sunday night at 7 p.m. Have a good night. Thanks, guys.